After it ended, yeah, right at the end. Well, we are live, everybody, so don't say those words we're not allowed to say, like COVID and smoke, everybody, smoke. Yeah, here we are. I just want to double check and make sure that record button has been pressed now. You're gonna be twitching. Okay, yes, it is pressed. We are recording. We are live on YouTube, everybody. For how much longer, we don't know. We don't know how long YouTube is gonna put up with us. But we're here today, and so is everybody else. And yeah, let's do the intro because we've got Marge back. Let's do the professional intro. All professional. Come in now, everybody. Is everything working? That's right. No music. Yeah, it's looking good. Yes, everybody, and welcome to High on Homegrown, the cannabis podcast from Percy'sGrowroom.com. I am Mackie from the UK, and joining us this week, she's back from her travels. We have Marge.
That's right, I'm back, bitches.
Oh, flag, YouTube flag.
No, come on.
Tell them they flag everything. They flag everything.
I was just trying to bring the professionalism and some levity.
Thank you, Marge.
It's introduction. So, Marge from Canada and everyone's favorite host of Bite Me, the show about edibles.
Nice. It's good to have you back, Marge. We have missed you.
Oh, thanks.
And Filmy Bolts in the chat there said we have missed you as well. Yes, you're being thoroughly missed. We go a little bit crazy when Marge isn't here, I'm afraid. So
I know. I bring a sense of calm and rationality to this group.
Yes,
so.
Indeed. It will be noticed, I'm sure.
It's the calming voice that does it.
Yes, man. And we also have Bubble Hawk. What's up, Bubble?
G'day, guys. Bubble here. Everybody's favorite half asleep Australian. Yeah, going good actually. I may have smoked a little too much last night, so I was still awake smoking joints at like 1:30 this morning, and it's now 6 a.m. So doing well.
Nice.
Doing well. I'm here. That's what matters.
Indeed. You're here, you're awake, you have coffee and reefer, so it's all good.
I do have coffee. Yes.
Nice. Man, I've been drinking far too much coffee this week. Far too much coffee. And I even messaged Jordan River because it's his fault. Because, we spoke about coffee. Sorry, Monkey, we'll get to you in a second, bro. We're just going on random tangent, You can tell I've been drinking too much coffee, right? But a while ago we had Jordan on the show and I was speaking about coffee and they're like, yeah, but you guys drink instant coffee. And I could feel the bombastic side eye he was giving me through the screen. Like you dirty instant coffee drinkers.
Who's drinking instant coffee?
Well, this is what we drink in the UK, just instant coffee. So,
are you serious?
Yeah. That's it. You see now that's the bombastic side eye from Marge too. Thanks, Marge. Thanks.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, so I went and got a proper coffee machine, and I went and got proper coffee, and now I've been just smashing through too much of this coffee because it's so good.
Right.
And it's,
because Jordan shamed you into getting proper coffee.
Yeah, and I'm messaging him like, this is your fault, bro. I'm drinking far too much coffee. I feel like I'm buzzing all the fucking time. Thinking I get a caffeine crash halfway through the day. Like I need to sleep. And
gets to 2 in the afternoon, and you're like, I'm just gonna lay down on the couch for a little while.
I need to sleep right now. I'll be back. But yes, we also have Monkey Do. What's up, Monkey?
That's right, bitches. Monkey here. I had to throw it out there. What the hell, though? Monkey down here in the blazing hot southeast of the USA, man. I'm talking like today we're looking at high 90s, approaching 100. No rain. Oh, come on. It's a broken record. I've been saying a thing for the last 2 months, man. Please send some cool temperatures, Bubble.
That's sweater weather, bro.
Sweater? Yeah, I sweat like crazy. I'm one hell of a sweater in this weather.
What's 90 to 100? You're talking what?
30, 34, 37, about 37.
That's all right. That's not bad.
37 degrees Celsius. That's pretty warm.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a bit warm. That is. Yeah.
Well, come on over. You like it? Come on, get it, man. That's fine.
See, we only start complaining once it hits 40 and above. Once it's over 40, that's a problem.
No, we start complaining around 35, and then from there on up, even past 40, whatever. Yeah, but at 35, we've had enough.
It's like 35 and up. You're talking pretty humid heat as well, right?
Oh yeah, this is a coastal temperature, right. So yeah, humid, lots of humidity. Not too bad if you got enough wind blowing, but usually you don't have too much of that.
Yeah, that's toasty.
It is toasty, but anyway, I'm in the aircon. I'll live.
Nice.
Well,
just
unless
just
your power
surviving.
goes out.
Yeah,
Really?
there's been like 1,000 people die in Europe over the summer so far because we don't have aircon here. 1,000 people, man.
Oh, really?
Mm,
Yeah.
crazy
Well, there's
shit.
a few have passed in the States, and then there's been like 40 something odd people have died over the last heat wave.
Yeah, they've had several in Texas die. They've had some really horrific temperatures through Texas and Louisiana and
Yeah.
some areas of Florida this week. It's terrible, terrible numbers.
Damn.
I heard a story about some young fella, and he was like, for whatever reason, out in the middle of the desert, and it was like peaking at 48 C. Now, that's fucking hot. 48 degrees.
Damn.
That's
Mhm.
fucking
8
hot.
degrees Celsius is
Mm-mm.
will
Right?
melt your face.
That's
this poor-
that's valley hot, man. That's serious.
Yeah.
You know.
But this poor kid apparently has called his old boy and been like, look, you know, our car's broken down or I'm stuck out here or something, and the temperature's like cranking up. And so
Damn.
his dad or his stepdad or whatever it was got in the car and was like booking it to get out to help his kid, and then got into an accident, died in the accident, and then the
No.
kid died in the heat.
Oh,
my
Lord.
God.
Damn.
It was like
That's
as if
awful.
that day could not get worse. Like,
That almost
Wow.
sounds
Well-
like a story that's too spectacular. You know, that really couldn't have happened, is what you're thinking, you know.
that's you know, I'm reading it thinking, no, come on. And then
Really?
it just one of those stories that got worse and worse and worse as it went on. I'm thinking, fuck that poor family.
More miserable, more
Yeah.
miserable. That's right.
Damn. It sounds
Well,
like you'd be
summer's
safer in a submarine, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
but-
okay.
Here
well,
we go.
you know,
Here we go
at least
again.
at least they were together. That's the main thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm,
They wouldn't have.
Uh,
They wouldn't have burned up in a sub. At least that's right. At least it would have been cool down there.
mm.
No, there's a little
Goddamn.
bit difference between liquefying and charring. So
That's true.
Yeah. You
Here we
know,
go
and then
again.
being squished is it? No, let's not even go there. That's
We're all trying not to go there. You know, we're getting sucked into the hole here.
you know, goddamn. Yeah, so here we are this week. We're going to be talking about the cannabis news and events as we do. We have 5 stories, I think, this week to be covering. And some good news as well. Got lots of good news to be talking about this week. Some places have legalized cannabis, which is good to see. And some places have fucking legalized psilocybin and shit. God damn. God damn. Yeah, so good news, you'll see. That's all coming up. And then in the Grow Guides section, we're going to be doing a special listener Q&A this week, where you guys in the chat get to ask us some questions. And some questions have already been sent in via the Discord and via Percy's. So if you want us to answer one of your questions when we're going through the Grow Guide section, just put a Q with the semicolon, so we know that's directed at us then, and you're not just asking a random question in chat. Just Q semicolon and then type your question, and we'll if it's a decent question, because some of them, you know, there's a particular person in the chat, you all know who he is, who asks a particular kind of question that we won't be able to ask on YouTube. So just be wary of what you're asking us to answer. Okay, everybody? Yeah, so it's going to be a damn good show. It's going to be a damn good show. That's right.
Damn
Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And I'll quickly do a shout out here for everybody who has joined us so far. We have Gellert, Mad Dog Unsure, Dr. Frankenstein, John Finnegan, South Silly, Mr. Magoo, Nearsighted on the Far Side, 420 Trees, Traveling with JJ, SG2, Turpo, Supercropper, Shadowkin Vale, Filmy Bowls, The Fatty Thumbs, Biddy Bonds, Backblast, Timmy, Jinx, Undertaker, Chilbert, Pagan, Jareth, Woody, Galandil, Four Plants, Arnie Scarpa. That's everybody we've seen so far. So, yes, thank you for joining us, everybody. It's always a pleasure. There's Ballista. Ballista has just arrived as well. Yes, thanks for joining us. I hope you're all smoking something nice. What are you smoking, Monkey? What you got? You got something nice?
I got a blend right now of Nakatomi Plaza and Strawberry Coffin in the Volcano, so I'll have to take this one very easily. It's very strong.
Nice. Sounds good. What you got, Bubble? What you squishing?
I'm gonna kick the day off with some blackjack rosin, and then at the same time I'm going to have a joint of blackjack because I fucking
Ooh.
can.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why.
You're not going to go out to work or anything today?
It's 6 a.m., bro. I'm gonna get high and sit here with you guys for the next few hours,
Nice.
and then I might go and have some Vegemite on toast. I'm not going anywhere near
Very
work
nice.
today.
Yeah, that reminds me. This week I tried sauerkraut. I got some sauerkraut.
Ooh,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah, it's good, man. I like that shit. It's strangely Moorish for some reason. It's like, this is pickly, but I think I have another spoon. I think I'll have
Did you
another
have-
spoon. I think I'll have another
What did you have
spoon.
it with though?
Oh no, mate, that's it. That's it. Just that.
Are you just sitting there smashing into
Just
a bowl of
right
sauerkraut?
off the fork.
Yeah, and then after I've eaten like I don't know, like a quarter of the jar, like a savage, I was like, I'm gonna have a look at what this sauerkraut is because it's apparently really good for you. And I look at it and it's like you shouldn't really eat more than a spoon because it can give you diarrhea if you eat too much. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
brilliant,
Never heard
thank you
that.
for
It's
that.
just cabbage and salt.
Yeah, but you have to work your way up to like a decent level because of the lactobacillus in there and all that shit because it's good for your
Right.
guts. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
goddamn.
like drinking a 6-pack of what do they call it? The drink
Beers.
kombucha.
Butcher.
It'll run right through you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, what you got, Marge? What are you smoking on?
I have some amnesia haze right now.
Nice.
Oh
Nice,
yeah.
classic.
Yes.
I've got some amnesia haze as well. I think I might pop some of that in the mighty and join you with the amnesia there, Marge.
Yeah, it smells really good. I have to admit, TG sent it to me, so it's going to be good.
Oh, god damn, that smells
Yeah.
good. Mm-mm-mm. Do we like cannabis, everybody? Hit that like button if you like cannabis.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what else is going on? That's about it, really. That's a good catch up before the show. Marge, what about your event? You want to tell us about your event while you wasn't here?
Yeah, well, a fellow cannabis person in my area was throwing a Cannabis Gives Back event for Pride. And they had entertainment and some raffles and like all kinds of cool stuff going on, vendors and everything. There was a guy there with a machine to squish your weed if you wanted.
Nice.
And yeah, it was really good.
There's
I've
a
just
tinkle
been
tink.
hanging around that tent like a crack addict. Just squish this one for me. Squish this one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty cool setup though, because you said you have a machine, right, Bubble Hog?
Yeah, I've just got a pretty standard press. If I had the money, I'd be going like the Nug Smasher IQs.
Right.
But I priced one of those the other day, and to get it here and pay for it and everything was like 20 grand Australian. I'm like, you know what?
Oh, wow.
Come on.
Yeah, that's about
Yo,
30
man,
quid, ain't it?
come-
What the fuck?
You'd have to go to a
man.
lot
Come
of
on,
events.
Do it.
to,
Like
to
I'm
do
flying,
that.
I'll be flying to Canada before I spend 20 grand on a fucking
Right.
press.
Mhm.
Business class, thank you very much.
No, Tinkle Tink just said there in the chat as well, is lemon tree still the favourite? Yes, I think it is. I love that lemon tree shit. But I don't have any seeds, so, I haven't been growing that recently. But a quick shout out there to Benny Ben and Pip Jam as well. Sup? Thanks for joining us. Chubba has been at the, what was it called there? The Cannabis Festival this weekend. He said he's enjoying some Nepalese hash. Damn. And there's Dank Dixie. Dank Dixie visiting in the chat. We don't see Dank Dixie here very much. Welcome, bro. Welcome. Thanks for joining us on the live show. And just a quick reminder there, about halfway through the show when we're doing the smoke break, we'll be doing the first card draw for the high or low to win the HLG Grow Light this month. And there'll be another competition starting in the next couple of days over on Percy's for the Patreons to win this month's HLG Grow Light. There'll be more information over at percysgrowroom.com.
So which one are we giving away this time around? We're giving away isn't it a 200 veg light?
Is it the 250 this time?
250 veg pro, I believe, isn't it?
That was last month. That's this month. That's what we're giving away this month.
That's what we're doing
Yep.
the comp for, right.
Yes. And then we're giving away. Can't remember, man. There's so many lights that we give away. It's hard to keep track of them all.
That's the funny part. Is like we can't even remember what light we're giving away this month because we give away lights every month.
Like the Oprahs of the weed world.
You get a light. You
You
get a
light.
light. You get a light. Everybody gets a light.
If you look under your chair, there's
That's a light there.
That's right.
Oh,
So if
that's
you
great.
want a chance of winning a grow light this month, then join our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Percy's Grow Room and become a patron for as little as $4.20 a month. That's American dollars, so that's about 20 quid in Australian dollars, I think. Damn. And it used to be.
Call it quid. Where did you?
I called it quid.
$20 dues, my friend.
Yeah,
$20 dues.
Dollary dues. That's right. And here in the UK, it used to be $3.50. Fuck knows what it is now. You know, it's probably about $10 because the pound has fallen so badly. I saw one, Jacob Rees-Mogg, this politician that we have here in the UK. Random tangent before we go on to the news. But I saw a meme with him standing there and he's like, "Are you the British economy? Because I'd like to give you a weak pound." So bad. So bad. But yeah, Jacob Rees-Mogg is a bit of a prick. So yeah, fuck him. Yes.
Hey, you know, actually, a couple of weeks back, I went and saw Michael McIntyre,
Right. Okay.
the comedian. Have you seen any of his stuff?
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah. Oh man, he had like 5,000 people in fucking stitches. That bloke's great.
Yeah.
Us Aussies like the British comedians.
What was his name?
Michael
McIntyre.
Oh, I don't know him.
But yeah, and us Brits like them Australian ones, you know, like Jim Jeffries and Tim Minchin. You know Tim Minchin?
Tim Minchin he's a god amongst men.
You know that tune, fucking Fat Children? You know, do not feed donuts to your obese children. That is so a fucking epic tune, man. I love that tune. Check it out, everybody, after the show is over, of course. But for now, I think it's time for the cannabis news and events. Are we all ready? Let's do it.
Ready.
Let's do it.
Born ready.
So professional. So professional. Everybody hit that like button for the amount of professionalism that was. Yes. So here we are for the cannabis news and events this week. We've got some good news to be hitting this week, which is a change because, you know, it's difficult to find the good news over here. But I think mainly because instead of typing in my usual search word, which is Cannabis News UK, and then making it last week, I just typed in Cannabis News to see what was going on around the world and avoided the whole UK thing. So we have good news this week. But does anybody want to jump in and go first?
Well, mine's kind of long and it's kind of drawn out, so we might as well start there. You know what I mean?
That's what she said.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So this is RFK Jr. pledges to legalize marijuana and psychedelics using revenue to fund farms where people recovering from drug addiction can grow organic food.
Nice. That's a long title. That was.
It is a long title.
Did you mean the title? You know, the title was long and drawn out as well. You know,
well, that's the whole article right there. We're done.
Well, that's all you need to know. It's all in the title.
It's actually almost the first line of the whole story. There's like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a 2024 Democratic presidential candidate, says that he would legalize marijuana and psychedelics if elected to the White House, and it tax both substances using the revenue to create healing centers where people recovering from drug addiction could learn organic farming as a therapeutic tool. He also voiced support for freeing up banking services for the cannabis industry. So that's in a nutshell what he thinks he can do there. Now, I don't know about you guys, but where are we going to take all these people and put them on a farm to teach them organic gardening?
That's Bill Gates. Bill Gates owns loads of farmland in the USA.
I didn't figure that in. That's what it is. We just got to get Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation involved in this thing. Okay, that's what we got.
She can't have them involved. It'll become a modern chain gang, man. Can't.
All right. The candidate's position on drug policy reform has been vague around the time he entered the race, but quickly came into sharp focus as he promotes progressive policies that in some cases go well beyond that of incumbent President Joe Biden. Now, if you guys remember, there was a very quick and fast comment made by the Biden campaign saying on stage during some kind of a debate or appearance that we will decriminalize. I think it was the words where we will decriminalize marijuana and expunge the crimes of those convicted, which I believe is what the statement was made on stage. Now, we all know that that hasn't happened yet. So I will say that no matter what he does, it's going to go past the Biden administration. So it's very good. He says, I would legalize psychedelic drugs and some form of legalization. He said, adding that he doesn't necessarily envision a commercial market where anyone could visit a shop and buy substances. There would be regulated access. His plan doesn't stop with simple legalization, however. I'm going to decriminalize marijuana on a federal basis. allows states to regulate it, continue to tax it federally, and use those tax funds to fund the recovery programs, he said. And I would do the same thing for psychedelic drugs, which I do not think should be criminalized. So that's, you know, I've yet to, this is the first political candidate other than maybe Bernie that's in favor of looking at psychedelics, openly stating this. So the cannabis and psychedelic tax-funded recovery program that he has in mind is inspired by an Italian treatment center called San Patrigano, which takes people struggling with addiction or those who are at risk and provides support through an agriculturally centered approach. Residents become involved in activities such as gardening, forestry, and animal care. Now, this is kind of almost chain gangy, don't you think, guys?
Yeah, that's what. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh,
What do you mean chain gang? What's that?
Well, it's a forced labor term, you know. It's basically
Indentured.
yeah, you're pretty much you're owned by the
Indentured
state. This is
labor.
what you're going to be doing until we say you're not.
you
So
know
you may
those,
not, you may not be in prison, but you're still going to be, let's say, detained.
you
Yeah,
know
I guess
those
it depends on
movies.
how it's all set up. I mean, it could very easily turn into some kind of like, yeah, a chain gang type thing, or maybe it'll look a lot differently.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
You
don't
know
know, maybe
those
they're going to use it
movies?
as education.
Sorry,
Say-
yeah,
you say, Bubble?
you know those movies, Mackie, where they're like all standing on the side of the road, chained together, chipping away at the road. That's
I've
chain
been
gang.
working on the railroad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
That.
typically, you don't see chain gangs that much around in the U.S. I haven't seen a physical chain gang in forever. But you do see prison work parties alongside the roads picking trash up and things such as that. That's fairly common. So I guess in a nutshell, it's very similar to what's happening here, except that, like Marge said, you could maybe this could almost be like an outpatient kind of a situation where maybe you live home and you come to work and do your thing and then you go back home at the end of the night. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
because he's talking about treatment centers, right? Like having
Yes.
treatment centers. So, I mean, a lot of people voluntarily go to treatment centers,
Mhm.
and maybe he's just talking about having like more robust programs to build community and knowledge and all this stuff. So when they go back into the real world, they're not so
Yeah.
alone. Because obviously that's, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
important.
skills are always good. I have no problem at all with
Yeah.
that. So yeah, if it's what he's wanting to do, it's a little bit vague, but I mean, he's just spitballing is what I'm seeing here.
It sounds a
Okay.
little lofty
It does, doesn't it?
to me. I mean, I like what he's saying and what he's proposing, and I think it could be very positive if he actually follows through on it.
Mhm.
He should follow through. I mean, it's very rare that you come across a politician where you're like, I kind of, no, I wouldn't say trust because that's a little bit too far, but I think this guy has some integrity. And if he says he's
Right.
going to do this, then he is going to do it. From what I've seen from RFK so far, he's not a like staunch advocate of the use of cannabis, but he sees that criminalizing it is not the right direction to go in. And
Right.
he seems very rational, this guy does. I've been monitoring what he's been doing for the last I don't know, couple of weeks, maybe a month, seeing the work that he's doing and the podcast he's been on and all of this kind of shit. And he seems to be a good guy, man. I'm kind of liking this guy. And if I was in the USA and the Democratic primary came along and I was looking for somebody to vote for, it would quite possibly be this guy. He
Well,
seems
it's
very,
a
very interesting.
bit early right now, Mackie.
Yeah, it is for sure. It is. You know, you never know. But Biden might run again. You're gonna have to rush to vote for him. You know.
Don't get me
Might.
started on that now.
My butt's been wiped.
All right. Let's chew up a little bit more of the story here. The note about safe banking laws seemed to be a reference to the bipartisan Secure and Fair Enforcement Banking Act to protect financial institutions that work with state legal cannabis businesses from being penalized by federal regulators. However, the proposal to impose a federal tax on marijuana sales would go further than incremental reforms. Now, this is the first guy that's saying that, yeah, I'll make it legal, but I'm gonna tax it too. At least he's being honest. I don't like the idea that he's doing that, but you know, he's already telling you, I'll make it legal, but you're gonna pay me for it. And he hadn't even announced how much he's thinking about making the tax either. So he also criticized much of the existing approach to drug treatment in the United States. We have a very good idea of what works and a vision of what we need to do in this country. And we need to make addiction treatment simple, easy, and cheap, Kennedy said. A lot of the drug treatment industry has devolved because of a variety of factors. It's almost a predatory industry. And that's true because in a lot of cases, the situations in your rehab put you in situations that it's very easy to relapse into because you don't have the support once you're out, or they put you into an environment to where you're unfortunately in with the wrong kind of people. Sometimes there's lots of different things that different people have to do within their own recovery, and it needs to be tailored individually to the person, not a one size fits all. So I think that's what he's referring to right there. With respect to psychedelics, the candidate said that he's reviewed studies on the substance, and there are so many people being helped in different ways by them that we have to make it easier and maybe prescribe them or give them therapeutically. I don't know about just buying them in stores. I'll have to look at that, he said. But one way or another, we need to make it easier for people to use them in ways that could benefit our children and could benefit everybody. I've seen it in my own family, the benefits of it. He said that he's seen miraculous recoveries from psychedelic drugs from PTSD veterans who have used it, from people who have suffered severe depression, OCD, and many, many other industries. I'm not saying blanket legalization, but we need to make it easy for psychiatrists and therapists who are gaining or trained to be able to use this on their patients as an experiment to see if we can get good results. Kennedy, the former son of Eternal General Robert Kennedy and the nephew of President John F. Kennedy, said that he would enact cannabis reforms as president and said that the current state of federal policy conflict is absurd. Now, what he's referring to there, legal in the state, not legal in the federal. So yeah, you can't even cross the state border with it right now legally. So, I mean, he's talking, I'm going to say the beginning of sense on a candidate here, you know, at least he's starting to look at some things here. And it actually, the article makes it sounds like he's more interested in psychedelics than cannabis is what I'm reading in from it.
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, that's fine with me. Either way, we need to look at both of them, actually.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
he's not
yeah.
wrong. And I like he's also addressing the banking issue too, which is probably important.
He's addressing loads of shit. I like this guy.
Yeah.
I like this guy. And I think that a lot of people like him too. And because of that, the media are going to slate him for the next year until that election comes along, man. Because it's still like just over a year, about 14 months until the the presidential elections, right, Monkey?
A little over a year. Yeah, year and a half.
When does the Democratic primary start? It's not very far away, is it?
The primary will start next year. The election will be 2024.
Yeah,
November
like November
2024.
20. Yeah, but when does the Democratic primary? Because they have the Democratic and Republican race to pick the nominee, and then they have the.
I don't even worry about the primaries anymore.
Right.
I'm serious.
Right. Yeah, I like the primaries, man. I like the primaries. That's where the real entertainment is.
Well, if I could affect the primaries in such a way that it could help get a better candidate there, I would definitely be
Well, you
more
could
involved
affect
in
it.
the primary.
You've just
No,
got to
not
have
really.
you got to have a few million, mate. If you had a few million to throw at
Oh.
it, then yeah, you can have plenty of effect on that primary, bro.
That's what I'm doing wrong. I
That's what-
forgot
yeah,
to
for
bring my
sure.
checkbook.
The use of your cash is also freedom of speech. Okay,
Right.
Just so you know
Right.
That's my kind of speech. I'm speaking with my wallet, right?
That's right. That's like legit. I'm not even telling stories here. That's one of the rules. It's like the way he spends his money is his freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All I'm gonna say is that I hope he has enough money in the campaign budget to get himself a bulletproof Popemobile.
This is what I'm
Because some of
saying,
the-
bro.
Oh,
Mm.
Some of the shit he's saying is gonna have shots fired.
Oh yeah.
So,
Damn, it's scary,
Well,
man. Scary.
Once they are an official candidate, that they do get Secret Service protection during the campaign and whatnot like that.
I
so-
know there was a guy who had Secret Service protection, and he was taken out by a lone gunman.
I think it was a relative or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and also another relative of his as well also had
Yeah, well,
Secret
yeah,
Service
well-
protection and was unfortunately targeted by a lone
Mhm.
gunman. It's
Well,
like,
you know, I can read this article till I'm blue in the face, but I'm gonna be honest with you. After what the Democrats did for the last election and the promises they've made, and the fact that they've done absolutely nothing with it, this article means nothing to me actually. Because
yeah, I know what you're saying, man.
yeah, it's just
Yeah,
a
but-
promise.
Yeah, it's like here in the UK, mate. Anything our politicians say now, we're just like, yeah, whatever, you fucking lying bastards. We're just
Yeah,
sick of it, man. We're all past that stage of believing a word they fucking say.
So I hope I'm wrong. I hope this guy can actually get it done, or actually would try to get it done. But remember, the president can't just go in there and say, "Oh, it's legal now." He has to have the two
Right.
branches, the House
Mhm,
and the Senate,
mhm.
to pass it and bring it to him so he can sign it. Otherwise, it's just an executive order that can be overturned by other means.
So even if he does follow through on his promises, he can't necessarily follow through on his promises.
Yeah.
Well, he has to have help to get there. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, interesting guy, man. Everybody check him out if you haven't already. Go and check out RFK. But just quickly before we move on, we have another slight news article. It was about DeSantis. What did DeSantis say? Because it was put up on the forum. I forgot what it was. You see that one, Monkey?
Yeah, he signed an executive order making it illegal to have even medical cannabis in drug recovery centers.
Oh yeah, I
that's what it
saw that
was. Yeah.
somewhere. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Well, I mean, sometimes I don't know if I mean, we've interviewed certain doctors and they tell us that some people have big benefits from using cannabis to recover from opioids because it takes the edge off.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just thinking like, dude, you're the governor, you're not a doctor. Let the doctors decide what they can have in
Exactly.
there.
I would imagine most of these patients would have like a personalized program under which they're working, right, with medical professionals.
You see, I saw this article and my approach to it was some people, and it's not going to be many, and cannabis is far less damaging than a lot of the other drugs that are banned. But, you know, some people are going to be there because they want to try and get off weed as well. And it reminds me of that scene in Half Baked, you know, you here just for weed? Do you ever suck a dick for marijuana? Huh?
Yeah. That's so true.
But you know, it's definitely that approach they're going to be taking. I think if because people are going to want to try and quit using cannabis, or some people are even forced to, because not all states are legalized. And like what happens in Ireland is they have to go and have some drug rehabilitation because they were found with cannabis and have to be like, look, I'm changing my life. I'm on this course to stop taking the devil cannabis. You know,
Right.
that could be one of the aspects of it as well, man. So
Yeah. But I kind of think that DeSantis really hasn't looked into this or actually talked to any medical professionals about this to even. He's just. I
don't
he's
think that's
reacting
something
off
he
of
does.
Popular media.
No,
Yeah,
this DeSantis guy seems well, what little I know of him, I'm not much of a fan.
Yeah. He's a bit harsh, I think. I don't know too much about DeSantis, but what I've seen of him so far, I don't know. He just seems a little bit harsh on some things, a little bit too draconian. You know, he's risky.
Yes.
Risky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say when I was young, I probably thought that, life was more black and white, and the older I get, the more I realize that there are shades of gray out there, and some of those shades of gray are pretty subtle. But I think that politicians and physicians and everybody need to realize that not everybody's the same.
That's right. Yeah, so interesting things going on over there in the USA for sure, man. We have this piece of interesting news which I'll quickly get to here, but you know that thing we can't talk about, not the C word, but you know one of them other things, not the flag one, not the.
You mean the R and the U thing going on there?
Yeah, the R and the U thing going on. You know.
The war in Russia, is that what?
Oh, you don't say it. Flag. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry,
I was like,
YouTube.
what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. But
Told you I was gonna get a flag back on you.
Yeah, it's like capture the flag, man. Me and Bob will play capture the flag here. But anyway, now we've said it, we might as well just carry on. Ukraine's president says legalizing medical marijuana can help people impacted by trauma of war with Russia. Wow. All right, so the president of Ukraine is calling for the legislation of medical marijuana to help Ukrainians cope with trauma amid the ongoing war with Russia. In an address to the Ukrainian parliament on Wednesday, President Vladimir Zelensky, see, look at that. That was, come on, you know how crap I am with words, you know?
Yeah, but that one's been in the news for quite a while, man.
That's right. Yeah, Vladimir Zelensky, again, I'm just congratulating myself, said that all of the world's best practices, all the most effective policies, all the solutions, no matter how difficult or unusual they may seem to us, must be applied in Ukraine so that Ukrainians, all our citizens, do not have to endure the pain, stress, and trauma of war, according to a translation. That was dodgy translation, that was. I had trouble reading that. But, you know, pretty much he's saying all these people who are going to war, and not even going to war, people who are just, you know, at home suffering with the detrimental effects of war, should be able to smoke medical cannabis to help with their PTSD. Which, yeah, of course they fucking should. But what helps with PTSD even better though, Zelensky, is some psilocybin. You know what I'm saying? So you should be talking about that too. And this article continues. In particular, we must finally fairly legalize cannabis-based medicines for all those who need them, with appropriate scientific research and controlled Ukrainian production. He knows what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ukraine's got to make this shit as well. We're not buying it from any you crooked bastards. You're not having your money back. He said, oh wow, I can't do that word. He said, as Ukrainska Pravda first reported. That this must be a news article or something from Ukraine. The president stressed that providing access to medical cannabis could provide a therapeutic option for citizens who have endured more than a year of intensive conflict after Ukraine first invaded the country. No, sorry. After Russia first invaded the country in February 2022. During his presidential campaign, Zelensky also voiced support for medical cannabis legislation, saying in 2019 that he feels it would be normal to allow people to access cannabis droplets, which is possibly a reference to marijuana tinctures. So he's got some kind of idea. You know, he wants to restrict what kind of cannabis people can get. You know, they can all have droplets, you know, but you can't smoke a reefer. It's like, God damn, man. Just stop with the stupidness. Stop putting more restrictions on this shit. Just legalize, for fuck's sake, man. Zelensky's cabinet has got 20 jars of weed in it. And it's not really. That's not what the article says. It says Zelensky's cabinet has taken steps to legalize medical cannabis, approving draft reform legislation last year that must still be passed by the parliament. Minister of Healthcare Viktor Leshko said that the bill would permit the circulation of cannabis plants for medical, industrial purposes, scientific and scientific technical activities to create the conditions for expanding the access of patients to the necessary treatment of cancer and post-traumatic stress disorder resulting from war. Interesting, you know, it's like this article does continue. It's from marijuanamoment.net, and that's also the article that Monkey bought as well from the same website. So if you want to catch up with some cannabis news, everybody go and check those guys out. We use those quite often. But what do you all think of this article? Should Ukraine be legalizing cannabis, even though there is some evidence to say that cannabis causes psychosis? You know, and they will be out there on the front line with their psychosis because of their mind-altering super skunk addiction.
I don't think he's talking about letting the soldiers get high on the lines. He's talking about, you know, letting them, when they're not fighting, have access.
Yeah, I'm sure all of us can agree here on the panel that of course it should be fucking legalized and people should be allowed to use it. Like just do it.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. I wonder what would be stopping him from doing it. He's just I suppose he's got to pass through the parliament. That's all.
He's got a lot of shit on his mind.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the conservative sector of the American politics are gonna be grilling him big time on this one. Like, oh yeah, he's in war and he wants to legalize weed now. So yeah, we have a very anti Zelensky sect in Congress and whatnot on there. I'm sure they're going to grab this one. I haven't heard it yet though, but
right, it could be that. Yeah, he just doesn't go ahead and do it already. He hasn't done it already because there's a lot of pressure from
other places. Yeah. That's the best way to put it. Let's just say other places. You know, but other places in the West. You know.
Yeah.
The old "do as we say, not as we do" mantra.
Right.
But yeah, it would definitely be a good direction for every country to step into. Never mind just Ukraine. You know, maybe Russia should also give this shit go. You know what I'm saying? Might chill them out just a little bit.
yeah, I think you give it to all the soldiers and let them all chill out for a while, and then you know, could all have a big session, go home and laugh about it afterwards. Well, shit.
Damn. Yeah, it's
Just
crazy
big
shit, man.
Fog machines on the front lines, just blowing smoke at the.
Some kind of an aerial smoke drop or something, huh?
Yeah, that's it. Just screaming at them, "Calm down!" Just
This
blowing
big cluster
sweet
bomb.
smoke.
Drop this big cluster bomb. It comes down. It breaks off into 100 bomblets that are just reeking smoke all over everything.
Oh yeah, and it sprinkles little doobies out everywhere as well. As it, and carpet bombing doobies.
That's right. Little nuggets falling from the sky here. Have
Yeah.
another.
So yeah, man, that's definitely something we should keep an eye on as things move forward here in Europe at least. But we have one more news article, a good one coming from Europe here, which I'll cover before we move on to the next one. We have Luxembourg legalizes cannabis for personal use.
Hey.
How about
Yay.
that? And Luxembourg is
Really?
just a tiny place, really. It's just a small place, but it's a start. You know, so we have
It's another
Germany
domino.
and Luxembourg now that have legalized cannabis for adult use in their countries, which is very good to see. So Luxembourg has become the second European Union member country to legalize the possession and cultivation of cannabis for personal use after Malta. Well, cool. So, and Germany's on its way to that as well, I suppose. But these two for now, Malta and Luxembourg. After facing 2 years of delays, Luxembourg has taken a significant step towards ending its prohibition policy against cannabis. A majority of 38 MPs voted on Wednesday in favour of a bill legalising cannabis home cultivation and possession for recreational purposes, while 22 MPs voted against it. So that's a difference of 16. That's pretty fucking big when it comes to these kind of things. You know, it's,
Yeah, that's decisive.
yeah, I mean, everything seems to be just a few percentage off nowadays. Very balanced. You know, like Brexit being 48-52. I think the whole 2016 election was about that, and so was 2020. You know, everything seems to be floating around just a few percentage off. Like, oh, you were so close to having it. Don't kick off. You know,
Yeah.
just, you know, giving us the illusion back. We were so close. God damn. But let's finish here. The legislation of adult use cannabis in Luxembourg allows for the possession, consumption, and cultivation of up to 3 grams. Yay!
How do you
What the-
how do you
What
cultivate
the-
3 grams, bro? I could more than
Grams.
that off of a micro grow.
Is that a typo? It should be 3 pounds.
No, I'm saying you spelt kilos wrong. God damn.
Kilograms.
Yeah,
right, there you go.
there we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
typo. It must have been written by ChatGPT. God damn. However, possession, consumption, transportation, and purchase of cannabis in public spaces remains prohibited. The penalties have been reduced, with fines ranging from €25 to €500 for amounts up to 3 grams. However, if the possession exceeds 3 grams, people may face criminal proceedings lasting from 8 days to 6 months, accompanied by fines ranging from €251 to €2,500. So there you go. This is just another plot by the Luxembourg government to let people think that it's okay. Carry
So,
some weed with
wait.
you.
Let me get this straight. Luxembourg legalized, but you can only possess 3 grams. Is
Seems
what I-
that way. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, that's an interesting approach.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
You know, regarding
think-
cultivation, households are permitted to grow up to 4 plants as long as the cultivation is not visible from outside, and the plants are not allowed to grow any taller than an inch tall. They don't really say that last sentence. I'm just taking the piss.
I was going
I'm
to say
just-
that's the only, that's about
I
the
looked
only
up
way you
fast,
get
I said,
3
it ain't
grams
there.
of 4 of them.
You know, it's like, what? What? Just trigger everybody, you know? But yeah, it's not allowed to be visible from outside when you're cultivating it, which is fine. You know, nobody cares
You
about
can
that shit.
cultivate 4 plants, but you can't possess more than 3 grams.
That's right. I
You
don't
think
know.
that's sort of the problem with that? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what happens. It's what happens when lawmakers with no real information make laws.
Mhm.
Yeah, what happens when
Mhm.
you have a bigger yield than 3 grams on your plant?
In other words,
Mhm.
every time, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope.
Yeah,
God
I
damn.
don't get it. Is it 3? It must be 3 grams public. So it just must be, you can't have more than 3
No, that
grams
could
on
be-
you out in public.
Yeah.
That would
Right.
make more sense than you can grow
Right.
4 plants, but got to be 3 grams. Like,
You know, god damn. It says here, after Wednesday's debate, Minister of Justice Sam Tansen, who is part of the country's Green Party, emphasized that the criminalization of cannabis has proven to be a failure, as reported by the Luxembourg news media outlet L'Essentiel. Yeah, check out my French. However, the law proposed check out my French. You want to hear my Chinese? My Chinese is coming on very
geez.
good. It's very good.
Oh,
However, the law proposed by the coalition government faced strong criticism from the opposition Christian Social Party, MP Giles Roth argued that the legacy market would persist and the consumption would not be effectively restricted, added that Luxembourg adoption of this law would violate international conventions, which it used to, but it doesn't anymore because the UN has now changed their mind, haven't they?
Well,
Remember
not
that
really.
shit?
That was just a committee within the UN that made that recommendation. The
Right.
UN
so that
hasn't officially
recommendation,
said,
yeah.
yeah, they haven't adopted it yet.
Interesting. In the meantime, Jose Lorski, I think that's a mix between French and German. I don't know, probably pronounced horrifically wrong. You know how wrong. From the Green Party, from the Judiciary Committee, said that the next phase for the country would involve the creation of a regulated system for production and sales of cannabis run by the state. So there we go. Luxembourg is kind of legalized. Kind of. Okay. So they're trying to. But goddamn, we're gonna have to put a little bit of research into that. But it's a step in it. It's a step in the right direction. It might not be as far as people would have liked, but at least they're heading in the right direction.
Well, they have home cultivation too, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
But I hope
It's
they're not
always good
expecting
when
3 grams from home cultivation there.
No, I think Bubble Hawk's got to be onto something. Like that's 3 grams when you're out and about. You know,
Yeah.
that's what you
I
can
think-
have because that otherwise it doesn't make any sense at all.
I think it's 3 grams of resin.
Yeah. Chilbert reckons it's 3 grams per pocket. So-
Okay.
You know what I mean? And sock. You know?
That's right.
Oh, that's no. Billy has a sock. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Billy has a spare sock. He keeps an extra just in case.
When everyone starts wearing cargo pants, suddenly they become the fashion of the day.
I mean,
Extra pockets stitched on
Yeah.
and shit.
everybody wearing their 3-piece suit with all
Right.
the jacket pockets and then the waistcoat pockets. Everybody starts dressing real nice. But yeah, so at least that's some kind of good news, right? So it's all looking pretty good so far. I mean, you got the RFK thing with he's looking at legalizing federally or decriminalizing at least. And then you have Ukraine doing the same thing, and then Luxembourg also doing the same thing. So everybody is heading in the right direction so far. And then we have Australia. Bubblehuck, would you like to explain what the fuck is going on here?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I just saw the headline. It looks so good.
Yeah. So Australia is now the first nation to let patients with depression or PTSD be prescribed psychedelics. So Sydney, Australia is now the first country to allow psychiatrists to prescribe certain psychedelic substances to patients with depression or post-traumatic stress disorder. Beginning Saturday our time, Australian physicians can prescribe doses of MDMA, also known as ecstasy for PTSD. Psilocybin, the psychoactive ingredient in psychedelic mushrooms, can be given to people who have hard to treat depression. The country put the 2 drugs on the list of approved medicines by the Therapeutic Goods Administration. Scientists in Australia were surprised by the move, which was announced in February but took effect on July 1st.
So it's
One
essentially
scientist-
legal now, right? You
It
could
is
go
now
to your
legal,
doctor
yeah.
now and be like, Doc, I'm really sad. I need some
So,
mushrooms, please.
So yeah, hold the excitement. Just
Okay,
a little
okay.
like there's great, and then there's a little bit the fuck are they talking about going on in here. So one scientist said it puts Australia at the forefront of research in this field. Chris Langmead, Deputy Director of the Neuromedicines Discovery Centre at the Monash Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, said there has been very few advancements on treatment of persistent mental health issues in the last 50 years. The growing cultural acceptance has led 2 US states to approve measures for their use. Oregon was the first to legalize the adult use of psilocybin, and Colorado's voters decriminalized psilocybin in 2022. Days ago, President Joe Biden's youngest brother said in a radio interview that the president has been very open-minded in conversations the two have had about the benefits of psychedelics as a form of medical treatment.
I'm saying
The
nothing.
US
I'm
Yeah.
saying
No.
nothing.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Maggie. I mean, yeah, I want to so say something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it runs in the family. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing. Why did I say something for? Okay, I'm going back to mute. I'm going back on mute. Sorry, Bubble.
Okay, no, you're fine. The US Food and Drug Administration designated psilocybin as a breakthrough therapy in 2018, a label that's designed to speed the development and review of drugs to treat a serious condition. Psychedelics researchers have benefited from federal grants, including Johns Hopkins and the FDA released a draft guidance late last month for researchers designing clinical trials testing psychedelic drugs as a potential treatment for a variety of medical conditions. Still, the American Psychiatric Association has not endorsed the use of psychedelics in treatment, noting the FDA has yet to offer a final determination. And medical experts in the US and elsewhere, Australia included, have cautioned them that more research is needed on the drug's efficacy and the extent of the risk of psychedelics, which can cause hallucinations. There are concerns that evidence remains inadequate and moving to clinical service is premature, that incompetent or poorly equipped clinicians could flood the space, that treatment would be unaffordable for most, and that formal oversight of training, treatment, and patient outcomes will be minimal or ill-informed, said Dr. Oh, this one's a good one. Lick Natesky, head of Monash Universities. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you look, you see it, you give it a crack.
No, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the actual name. It's like Lick Nutsky.
Yeah, Lick Nutsky. Lick my Nutskis.
You know, Lick my Nutsky. He must have suffered at school for that. God damn.
Yeah, oh yeah, he would have copped it for that one. So here's where it gets interesting. The drugs will be expensive in Australia, costing about $10,000 per patient for treatment. 10 grand. Right. So Lick Minutsky said the opportunity for Australians to access the drug for specific conditions is unique. I'm just going to floss over that one. There's excitement about drug policy progress and about the prospect of being able to offer patients more suitable and tailored treatment with the constraints imposed by clinical trials and rigid protocols. So,
you know what gets me here, Bubble? You know what fucking gets me? It's where they're like, there are concerns and evidence remains inadequate. Move to clinical services premature. That incompetent or poorly equipped clinicians could flood the space. And then it goes on about the drugs might be too expensive. Are you fucking taking the piss? Like you give a shit about any of the other drugs out there that are too expensive for the fucking patients and people can't afford them? It's like now you suddenly give a shit because it's a fucking mushroom. You dickheads. Absolute dickheads. God, man.
I just don't get where they get 10 grand. Like,
I think it's because, like, I don't think it's the drugs. If I understand it correctly, I don't think it's the drugs themselves, because obviously they're not nearly that expensive. But it's the whole treatment process. Because when people are using these types of drugs for PTSD or depression or whatever, it's in a clinical setting, and you have doctors overseeing the whole thing, and then you have integration and all the shit that goes with it. And so this 10 grand is for the entire treatment process, not for
like 2 weeks in the or 4 weeks in a place.
2 weeks.
You know. I just think it's shocking,
like,
man. You know how they like suddenly give a shit about how much medicine costs the fucking patient. It's like, come on.
But it is interesting though, because I have read some articles recently about how a whole bunch of like clinics over here in Canada and the United States that were like geared to treating these types of issues with psychedelics and stuff have all closed down as well.
Yeah.
And I don't remember everything behind it, but a lot of it was, you know, you do get charlatans probably in there who are just trying to make a quick buck at the expense of somebody's, you know, PTSD or depression or really real health concerns.
See, I think the thing with the whole psychedelics movement here is that they saw what happened when they legalized medicinal cannabis. And when they legalized medicinal cannabis, all these little fucking stores popped up with doctors that were able to prescribe for you. So it's now as easy as jumping on the internet, typing in Cannabis Australia, Medical Cannabis Australia, and you'll get 10 or 15 clinics that will FaceTime you. You'll talk to a doctor, and within a week, you've got weed at your front door, right? Legally. And it's not like, yes, it's expensive, but in the terms of $10,000 per patient for treatment, it's a lot cheaper than that. And I think that's where I'm feeling these big numbers coming into it. They're like, well, we've seen what's happened with cannabis, so we can't really let that happen with mushrooms and MDMA, or it's going to be a free-for-all. So if we put all of these caveats in there, the only people that are going to be able to afford this are people that are well off.
Crazy.
Right, which
'cause, I
means
mean,
it
I
also
mean-
limits who can access the treatment.
Yeah. Because you think about how many people that are suffering from PTSD and issues and mental health issues that this would help. There's not a lot of those people that are out there. Like I'm not saying that it's blanket, right? Because there are people out there that are earning ridiculous amounts of money that do suffer PTSD and mental health issues and would benefit from this. But being that at these types of prices, they're the only ones that are going to be able to benefit from it. It's
Mhm.
not. It's going to skew a lot of the research from it. So it's got it needs to be across the whole board, available for every patient that wants to access it. Not just because you've got 10 grand in your pocket that you can spare, because that's the thing.
Right.
It's 10 grand you can spare to spend on your mental health, which a lot of Australians in the current climate probably wouldn't have. I don't have 10 grand spare. I mean, not to spend on mushrooms.
Right.
I'd rather go for a wander out in the bush.
What the
and
really
take the
important
fine.
question is here is like, how many mushrooms are getting? You know, how
Yeah,
much MDMA?
yeah,
how many
how many-
grams,
how-
bro? You know, you
There's
spend
no-
10 grand
yeah.
and you get fucking 3 grams. It's like, what?
Be fucking pissed. Yeah,
I know the treatment, the medical treatments that they've done with it in the States and the testings, it's actually just a clear liquid that you drink. You're given basically in a cup, not mushrooms. It's definitely distilled all down, just the psilocybins, which you're
Well,
getting.
it's a specific titrated dose, right? Because once
Yes.
you get into a clinical setting, you can't just be like, well, here's some mushrooms I got out of a
Oh,
bag
no.
from some
yeah.
dispensary, right? Like they got
I think you need to have 5, but if you have 6, we'll just see where it goes. Like,
right. Like they've got to be pretty spot on with that stuff, which is
Yeah.
well, it's sort of like it's a weird thing, I think, because once you put it behind these, like in these clinical settings, it kind of changes the whole thing, and then it makes the access much more difficult for people.
yeah.
I just
Yeah,
find
I
it
think
funny.
that's
Is cannabis legalized in the same way all across Australia, or is there some places that are not allowed to have it?
no, every state and territory, I believe, in Australia, you can get medicinal cannabis.
And that's going to be
Doesn't
the same
matter.
position with the mushrooms, then I suppose. Well, with the with
Well,
this medicine.
no. So the difference is that you have to be, you've got to go to a psychiatrist. So, I don't. This is saying just Sydney, but I'm assuming it's a federal, because it's saying the nation. And I would assume they're just starting with Sydney for whatever reason. Maybe New South Wales has the most clinically depressed people with PTSD. Or, I don't know, but that's where they look like they're starting at. So, I mean, look, I think like it's great. It's something that it's moving forward in that area. I just can't get on board with that cost.
Yeah,
Right.
it's craziness, man. But that's the same thing with anything medical, really, isn't it? They charge a stupid amount of money because you have to pay it. It's medical.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, 10 grams of medical cannabis will cost you anywhere from about 150 all the way up to 250
Damn.
Australian dollars per 10 grams, So
Stupidness, man.
gets up there.
But again, another step in the right direction here.
Yep.
So you've had 4 steps in the right direction articles here. Marge, what's yours saying?
Well, I know I've been away for a couple weeks, and not to be the bearer of bad news, but Forbes magazine is reporting as of June 30th, 2023 at 11:20 a.m. that why national cannabis legalization is still a decade away.
Wow.
After all this great talk too, and what RFK Jr. had to say, because I do support what he has to say. But even though recreational marijuana use is now legal in 23 states and most Americans support ending the federal ban, investors, entrepreneurs, and politicians are no longer high on it happening in the next 10 years.
That's crazy, man.
I know. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who's already come up in today's discussion, recently announced that if he's elected president of the United States in 2024, he would not decriminalize cannabis, let alone legalize it.
Right.
I don't think we'd do that. He's quoted as saying, whose home state is the country's largest medical marijuana market with more than $1 billion in annual sales. And he was saying this just last week at a campaign event in South Carolina, which is super interesting to me, that when you have $1 billion in annual sales that's going to your state, that he'd be like, I don't see the point.
He's a politician, isn't he? So he's just a hypocrite like the rest of them.
Well, he's been anti-cannabis for a long time, and he's not really helped the medical cannabis market along at all. Matter of fact, he's thrown a few roadblocks up in its path as it's been developing. But
right,
let's not get started on that, because that's a whole new story.
I just want to say, you know, he's definitely lost a lot of votes by saying he's not going to decriminalize or legalize. Foolish. Sorry, Marge.
And we have President Joe Biden isn't pro-cannabis, nor any of the other major declared candidates, including former President Donald Trump. Trump's first Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, rescinded Obama-era protections for the industry, and more recently, Trump said that drug dealers should be executed. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who opposed cannabis legalization during his first bid for president in 2016, and referred to tax revenue from pot sales as blood money, said during a town hall on CNN that he would end parts of America's drug war, but still opposes legalization. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who was running as a Democrat and got arrested for marijuana and heroin decades ago, said he would decriminalize weed, but stopped short at legalization. If Biden wins the 2024 presidential election, his term will last until 2029. If a Republican wins the 2024 election and gets reelected for a second term, the earliest a pro-pot president could take the White House would be January 2033. Yeah. So when you look at it from that kind of perspective, that's not great news, unfortunately. Joe Biden seemed like the answer to the cannabis industry's prayers in 2021, but his record is mixed at best. In his lengthy tenure as senator, Biden was partially responsible for America's harsh drug laws, and as president, he fired White House staffers who tested positive for cannabis. Yet in October 2022, he pardoned all U.S. citizens convicted of a federal marijuana possession and asked the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Attorney General to review expeditiously how marijuana is scheduled under federal law. And right now, it is still classified as a Schedule I drug, along with heroin and LSD. And other narcotics with a high potential for abuse and no medical value. So he's quoted as saying, too many lives have been upended because of a failed approach to marijuana. It's time to right those wrongs. So he said that last year, but he hasn't really changed anything, has he?
No. Only thing he's done is he's asked for a review of scheduling, and that's all he's done.
Right. And I guess it said here too, he pardoned citizens convicted of federal marijuana.
Yeah, but that was all bullshit. Nobody actually got let out because there was nobody in federal prison specifically for the possession of cannabis or something. Yeah.
Only simple possession of cannabis. You know, they had other things attached to them.
Like a possession of a firearm and shit like that. So it was just bullshit. It was just like saying nice things to make people feel happy,
right?
As politicians do.
It goes on to talk a little bit more about sort of the little stuff that Biden's doing right now. But essentially, the article is saying that, you know, when you look at it from that perspective, the candidates who are running now and how it could turn out, it could be another 10 years, like they're saying, before you have federal decriminalization or legalization, one or the other, which is a sad thought. Yeah.
Well, I won't argue with your point, but I'm not happy about it.
No, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at least if Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is saying that he would decriminalize, that's something, but why would stop short at legalization? I don't really see, unless he's trying to actually get elected and he's worried if he says that, then people might not vote for him. I don't know. The country's large and divided, so.
Yeah, but you know, the pro-legalization side of the country is I mean, it's a super majority now in the United States. So you would think that a political candidate would latch on to that as a good campaign strategy.
Well, and that makes sense too, because like it said right at the top of the article, that most Americans support ending the federal ban.
Yep, that's true.
So why is this so hard, politicians? Why can't you see the big picture?
Money from big pharma.
There's money to be had. They're leaving money on the table.
Yeah, but that goes to everybody. That doesn't go to them. They only want the money for themselves.
I'm sure they can find a way to be greedy and stuff it in their own pockets.
Well, once
they're
they
good at
figured out a
that.
way, they legalized. They're just still trying to figure out the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's money in it for them somewhere. All they have to do is be,
Mm-hmm.
you know, start sitting on the board of directors for some publicly traded cannabis company, and next thing you know, they're rolling in the dough. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing more and more of the anti-legalization side keep coming back with this THC psychosis thing. And, you know, I keep asking myself, where are all these people? Where's the institution that all these psychosis people are in right now? I don't know where they are. Where are they? You know, they
Yeah.
keep telling me they're everywhere. Nope.
And that's
They're
one of the
not.
So we've-
arguments against it. It's like the cannabis has been legalized in lots of different states, but they've seen no rise in schizophrenia and psychosis and shit.
I know,
So-
it's so crazy. But this article also says there's Morgan Paxia, who co-founded San Francisco-based cannabis investment firm Poseidon, which has $160 million in assets under management, was lobbying in Washington, D.C. late this spring when he finally accepted that America's prohibition on pot is not going to end soon. Any hopes that the Biden administration will remove marijuana from the list of controlled substances is, quote, dead in the water, end quote.
Yep.
And
I
my
agree.
feeling of federal legalization is that it could be 10 more years.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Huh.
So it sounds like he was looking at having this descheduled or changing the scheduling or whatever, but it sounds like he's not even doing that now, the Biden
Nice.
administration.
Chucked it in the fuck it too hard basket.
There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
guess so. I don't know. Biden, I feel like aged out of the job a long time ago, but
Yeah, but
Yeah,
maybe
he
it's in the
aged.
fuck it I forgot basket. Either of the two.
yeah, that guy can barely put a sentence together, let alone deschedule
Yeah.
something like cannabis off of thing. I don't know. It's just
It's my favorite thing at the moment is to get high and watch some of his press conferences.
oh
And some of
god.
the shit he says, you're like, dude.
God save the Queen. The Queen died.
Oh my
Remember, you went to the
God.
funeral.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
How is
But
this
you
even
the thing
real?
is, you don't forget he's an old man. He's like 80 years old and shit.
That's what I'm
Wait a
saying. He
minute.
aged out of the job like 20 years ago.
Mhm. This
You
is the
can't-
thing, man.
You can't
Should've
use the
retired.
excuse of being old if you're the president. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
you took the job. You
He-
better be able to do this.
He really
Right.
shouldn't
Yeah,
be
I'm
there in
so-
the first place. You know that's the way it is, man. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel the same with
That's-
Trump, though. I mean, Trump is also too old for that
79, and
job.
it is some.
Yeah.
He's approaching 80.
I don't see how you can still be like running for president after retirement age.
You're
Shouldn't you
correct
be,
with
like,
that.
Shouldn't you be on the golf course on your yacht or some shit?
Well, I think they're both losing it. Both Trump and Biden are contradicting themselves on a daily basis. So it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
they're both forgetting what they're saying.
It's
I
nuts.
see.
That's a politician thing.
I was
Bi-
curious how
Biden
old is
just got-
RFK Jr.?
Yeah.
Please tell me he's
dunno.
under 60.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Bubble? I'll
I
quickly.
was
Google
just
that.
say no. Biden just got lost on his way to a doctor's appointment and stumbled into the primaries, and it's all been downhill since then.
Mm.
Is that
But
how
it was
happened?
just. Well, fuck off.
that's what
But
that's
you-
that's the only reasonable thing I can feel. Because how
Man.
else does he get there?
I
It's
just did that Google
you know,
search, and it said, I was like, how old is RFK? And it's like 42 years old. I'm like, fuck off, 42. But that's his dad, isn't
42.
it? Yeah, he was 42 when he was killed. But,
Oh, but
how
I
old
think-
is RFK Jr.? He's 69 years old. 69.
Why is this this is not an old man's game. This
No.
should be,
It shouldn't be. No.
it should, but I, at the same time, I think it's a tough job and nobody wants to really do it except for these crazy fuckers. It's time for something different.
Hmm. You know, you have to be
March for
35 before
president.
you can run for president. So why
What's
don't
that?
they have you have to be 35 before you can run for president in the USA.
Oh, do you
it's
really?
like, yeah, why don't they
Oh, I didn't know
they
that.
cap it like you have to be this old? What about they get to 70 and it's like, sorry mate, you're too old. They'll now RFK, right, is 69. They'll probably implement a rule saying no, you have to be under 70. You know, they'll fucking twist it up somehow to make sure that
But
he
when did
can't
they
get
write
in.
that in? That you have to be 35? Like, was that like 100 years ago when you only lived to 40? I don't know.
I think it's an old
Yeah,
rule. It's been
yeah.
around for ages. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you know, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
35, 35
like
back
that.
then is today's 80.
Be updating that
Yeah.
shit.
That's right. You'll be dead by 50, so that's fine. 35 will work.
That's
yeah.
right. So it's like basically the
Shit.
modern day equivalent of what we have now.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Update the rules along with the scheduling of cannabis.
But that's crazy, you know. 10 years in between legislating.
And then you know
Maybe,
what's going
man.
to happen is it's finally going to happen, and someone's going to be like, "Why didn't we do this sooner?" And everyone's going to want to shoot themselves right there.
Yeah, crazy. It's it's fucking stupidness, man, and it's aggravating, is what it is. Because as you said earlier, there's a large percentage of the USA who is like, "Yo, can we legalize this now?" But
Well, and
they
almost
just
half
got
the
these,
states have
yeah,
legalized it,
yeah,
right? And
just
now you're
got
getting
these
other parts of the
fools
world.
who are running the country, and by the way, spending all the fucking money, and like you still like 3 trillion in debt and shit. It's like, why do we put these people in charge, man? They have no
If
fucking
looks like
idea what
we're
they're
giving
doing.
people 3 grams to walk around with, surely they could do something in
Yeah,
this game. I mean, come
yeah,
on.
that's it. There's just a bunch of lawmakers like that. Lettuce is the devil. Okay,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
it just
mm-hmm.
makes no sense to me that you've got so many states legalized and that they wouldn't just go, you know what? There's no point fighting it anymore. May as well get some money in the coffers. Let's just do it.
I
I
don't know
just
what
how they pretend like they give a shit about us on one hand, like, oh no, it's gonna be bad for the people and their psychosis. We can't let them have it. But then they don't give a fuck about anything else. You know, when it comes to the opioid epidemic, for
right.
example, they don't care about that. They don't
Because
care about how many
of course
people are
not.
dying and addicted to that shit. Nobody cares. Fucking
Follow the money, bro.
exactly, man.
Always follow the money. Like who's paying for these campaigns?
Mm-hmm.
Where's how this is it's the same shit here. Like all the money from pharmaceutical companies, alcohol lobbies, tobacco lobbies, all of that all goes straight to those people in government and their campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
It's within those their interest to keep it illegal to service the people passing money on.
Yeah.
That just makes me so mad though, because honestly, their greed knows no bounds. Because
Yeah.
honestly, people are still going to use pharmaceuticals, and people are still going to drink, and
Mm.
people are still going to use cannabis. So why not just make it accessible?
You know,
Right, make it
fucking-
safe.
that's it,
Right.
man. Like
Right.
everything else, they care about the consumer with fucking everything. Oh, we have to check your food and drink to make sure that it's all safe. Apart from
Yeah.
those pesticide Monsanto keep putting in it, but yeah, we won't go there. God
Cle-
damn,
Clearly, common
Full of
sense
shit.
has no place in politics, man. It's
full
just
of
how it
shit.
is.
Fucking sick of them all. But that's a completely different rant altogether. Fucking politicians. Hashtag
Did-
fuck the government, motherfuckers.
Yeah, sorry to
Did
be the
you-
bearer of bad news, but it
Yeah,
looks
you
like
ruined it, Marge. You were doing so well.
I really try not to, but I guess it was
Also-
my turn this week.
Yeah, we should have made you go first, Marge. Yeah, that's what we should have done. What are you saying, Bubble?
No. I'm just laughing at the fact that you made her take the last cab off the rank with the bad news. It's like, we're just gonna go with all the good news first, and then Marge can bring you the terrible news. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
There we go,
that's what
everybody.
you get for not being here for 2 weeks.
But let's move on with the forum news here. We only have one piece of forum news, really. I mean, other than the competitions that we have going on over at Percy's. And we always have competitions over at Percy's. So if you're not a member of Percy's Grow Room already, you are missing out on some good times. So get over there and become a member and get involved in these competitions that we have over at Percy'sGrowroom.com. And it's free. Did I mention it was free? I don't think I've said that before.
Free?
Anyway,
No.
yeah, for free.
First time I've heard.
Oh,
I don't have to pay.
You don't have to pay.
Yeah, all right.
Free. You can just sign up for free. Get signed up to Percy's if you ain't there already. But just this little bit of forum news here. We do member of the month every month, and it is a new month.
That is.
So we would like to announce Turpopotamus as this month's member of the month. Yeah, he's been around for a couple of months now. Turpo, he's settled into the community nicely, and he seems to be having a good time, and everyone's having a good time with him around the place. So, thanks for being around, Turpo. We appreciate you being there, bro. Happy member
Yes.
of the month. I don't know, is that what we say? Happy member of the month.
Happy.
Congratulations.
Congratulations for being a member of
You
the
would
month.
also get a
Happy.
month's free Patreon, but I think you're also a Patreon already as well. So, there's
Yes.
that. But yeah, just, thank you on behalf of everybody at Percy's, on behalf of the panel, for being an awesome member of Percy'sGrowroom.com. We appreciate it, man.
Your GIMP mask is in the mail.
Yep, it's in the mail. It's used as well as requested.
Bedazzled and everything.
The interviews we have this week, we have a guy called Jeffrey Salcia, who our friend Ryan Sprague got us together. He organized the interview for us. So we're going to find out who Jeffrey Salsa is very soon. on the 4th of July, which is American Independence Day. Yay! I don't know if I'm allowed to cheer. I don't know if that's treasonous for me to cheer about Independence Day. So
Yeah.
we'll just leave it as that. On the 11th of July, we have Gino Kenny, the Irish politician, coming to join us to talk about the bill that he is having passed. On the 13th of July, we have Chris Trump coming to join us to talk about KNF and all that kind of stuff. And then we have Tommy Chong coming back on the 19th of July, everybody. So make sure you keep that free. That's a Wednesday rather than a Tuesday and a Thursday, which we usually have our interviews on. So, keep your Wednesday free. Wednesday, the 19th of July. So put that on the calendar. And also, Mr. Goodbuds. We had some guys sign up to the forum. You know, we are a little touchy when people put links up and things. But anyway, this guy signed up and he's started a new grow. Like, here's Mr. Goodbuds Pringles tube grow. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, and Stutty sent me a message saying, like, who's this? You want to check this out? So I checked it out. And I was like, he's just like advertising this Mr. Goodbuds. Who is this Mr. Goodbuds? And I checked him out. He's cool. He's got a YouTube channel and shit. Nice little community going on. So I dropped him a message. I'm like, yo, we got this guy growing plants in a Pringles tub on our website, and I hear it's your fault. You want to talk about it? You know? So yeah, he's coming to join us in a couple of weeks on the 25th of July. He'll be coming to join us just to chat about, I don't know, what the interviews are like. We just chill and relax and talk to people about stuff. So it's going to be a fun one, man. So join us for that on the 25th of July. Yeah, so, and if you want to join us live for all of these interviews, then become a Patreon. Again, we're just saying that again. For patreon.com/Percy's Grow Room, and you become a patron for $4.20, and you can watch all of these interviews live, and you can watch all of the interviews we've done for the past, 8 months. It's been a while. They're all in the background, and you can watch them all live. Well, not really live anymore, but unedited, unabridged. You can just sit and watch all of the interviews, and there's shitloads out there, and some of them have not been released as well, because we release one interview every week, but we do 2 interviews on average every week. So there's a shitload of interviews that don't get released, so check those out if you're a Patreon as well. Just scroll down the list, you'll see it. Yeah, Patreon, cheap as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Jugglines is like $4.20. We do 3 episodes a week plus the live stream, so it's like 30 pence for every episode. Cheap. You know what I mean?
That's a deal.
Oh, only my
Best deal
mother-in-law is cheaper than that. Oh, savagery. But
Let me get you
anyway,
a on the phone real
You're
quick.
only
you probably have a number, Monkey. She gets around.
That's it. Yes. Yeah.
Another one. Any more? Savagery.
I was
Yeah.
only going to say you're only saying it because she ain't listening to the podcast.
Oh, God.
Right.
She might be. She hears
She
everything.
might.
You know. Right. Anyway, let's do it. Let's go on to the smoke break. Is there anything else to add here?
No, I'll have plan of the month comp up before the end of the show. I'll do that during the smoke break. I've got to get that done,
See?
but we are accepting entries, and I'll have that entry thread up for June and July entries for plan of the month. So yes.
Nice. Sounds good. Right, let's take a smoke break before this 420 comes. Let's do it.
All right. BRB.
Yeah, I need a drink too. Right now.
Is it coffee time? Oh, I'm going to bail before you do.
Yeah, could he
Coffee time,
go
I'll be
get
back.
coffee and then come back? You can sing a song.
Sing a
while we
song
do
by
this.
yourself.
But we're gonna do this spin here. I left it on the screen so I didn't forget. Now this is because everybody picks higher over on the forum, and because the first card is going to be an ace. This is just to enter. To enter, you had to say whether you want higher or lower, and everybody chooses higher. Of course, we also had to say thanks HLG. So everybody who did that is on the list over at the forum. You can see who is involved in this. So we're going to spin this. If it becomes up an ace, then we'll just spin again. If it comes up a king, we'll just spin again, because it would just be everybody guessing higher or lower again. It'd be a waste of a couple of days. So we'll spin this one, find out if it's going to be higher or lower than an ace. Spoiler alert, it will be higher because ace is low. And then we'll do the next one on Tuesday's interview as well. So we'll get everybody over at the forum to make their next guesses after this. And then we'll do the next one on Tuesday. So anyway, let's spin this fucking wheel and see what comes up. I hope you all understand what I mean. You understand what I mean, Monkey? Does it make sense?
Yeah, I do. Actually,
Cool.
I do. Yes.
Well, so let's just check this because we've got it wrong before and I missed out the 8 on the wheel. So I'm just double checking. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. You all see him? Yes. So I think we'll do one of those countdowns. You know those countdowns which we sometimes do? Everybody spam 3 in the chat. Just 3, 3, 3, 3. You know what I mean? Until it says, you are going too fast. You have been slowed down. Do that. That's right. Like Monkey's doing. See Monkey spamming that 3 like that? Everybody spam 3. Let's do the countdown. Nice. Billy doing it wrong. That's 33 trillion and shit, you know? Has to be just singular 3s. There's Kate. Kate Armstrong. What's up, Kate? It's good to see you. I've seen somebody else pop in the chat as well. I've missed your name. I know I can't scroll up because it's too many. But came here. Don't see you here often, but said that you love the live show and shit. Thanks for being here, man. We appreciate it. Let's go for 2. Let's move on to 2 now, everybody. Let's do it. And Jareth Williams also became a level 2 Patreon as well. I think it was maybe level 3. But yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for being a patron. We appreciate that shit. There's Dags. What's up, Dags? Everybody's saying 2. Whoa, it's going fast now. Let's go on to the 1s, everybody. Let's do the 1s. Let's go. Well, Billy's on it. Billy's got the fast fingers there. Yeah, shit, there's Hippopotamus. Let's go for 1s, everybody. Go for the 1. Let's do it. Everybody say go. I'm going to get that screen up. There you go. Everybody say go. 3, 2, 1, go. Will it be higher or lower than an ace?
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be a difficult one. This is, look at this. It's a 10, everybody. It's a 10. Look at that. So next, what you have to do, there'll be a thread over at Percy's tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. And you have to decide if the next spin is going to be higher or lower than a 10. Difficult one, man. Difficult one. You know, it's always a bit, you know, if it lands on like a 7, ooh, then it's pretty much a 50-50. But when it lands on 10, it's like, damn. You're going to have most people pick lower and then a few brave guys who are picking higher. You know, god damn. It's going to be a good spin, this one. So let us know over at Percy's what you think. Good luck, everybody. And also keep an eye out for the next Patreon comp as well, for the next HLG light. But always lots going on over at Percy's. This is why we tell you all, you need to be a member of Percy's. If you're not a member of Percy's Grow Room yet, then make sure you get signed up. It's absolutely free.
Yes, it is. This week only, though. You know how that goes.
Yeah, this week only. Absolutely.
Who won?
10 came up. So now everybody has to go and choose whether it's going to be higher or lower than a 10. Savage, right?
Oh, that's pretty
that's
easy,
right.
that
It's pick a card, isn't it?
Yeah,
it
higher
is.
or lower.
High low.
Yeah.
High low.
Yeah.
Savage.
Good luck.
Higher and lower than 10 for what? What'd I miss?
Card pick.
For the light.
Oh, I see.
This is how we eliminate people, as we have them you choose higher or lower. It's a difficult one. I'm just looking for the lights. There we go. So the list of lights. So what month is it? We had June. So this is for the Veg Pro 250. This one is, everybody. Whoever wins this one is for the Veg Pro 250. But there will also be a competition this month just for the Patreons to win the HLG 320. I don't know, right? That's a damn good light. Damn good light. So check that one out.
Have you seen HLG now have a bar light as well?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That thing looks epic, man.
Very nice. Very nice. Man, there's so much technology in lighting all the time. It's fucking cool, man.
Oh.
It's still advancing so much. It's like, where will we be in 10 years' time? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it's all about the UV now. All the little UV additive bars you can throw on.
But also, we did mention last week as well about anybody who dropped a funny comment about the submarine thing over at Percy's. But then we didn't put the thread up. But I did get a message through Instagram from a guy called Scotty, I think his name was. So he sent me a reel of like 5 submarines floating in the ocean. It's like me and my friends looking for the wallets outside the submarine. Oh, that's savage, bro. So yeah, fuck it, why not? Was it Scotty? If you're listening, mate, then get in touch and we'll send you one of those monkey pipes, bro. That was funny.
Send us a mailing address, please. Yes.
And let us know if you're UK or USA. I still have a couple of monkey pipes myself, so if it's in the UK, I'll send one from here. There
Oh,
you go.
on that note, the High on Home Grain pin badges have arrived down under. So if you're an Australian and you're a patron, hit me up and let me know, and we will get one sent out to you.
Oh, damn, does Marge even know about the pin badges?
No.
Oh, we have these nice badges now, Marge. The High and Homegrown logo badges. They're fucking nice, man.
Like what kind of badges?
Like
Lapel pins. Lapel pins.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
cool.
they're nice. Yeah, they're like 3 centimeters across and 3 centimeters tall. I think that's the size we got. But very cool. So we've been sending those out to people, and there's some more badges coming up very soon, everybody, with a different logo, not High and Homegrown, but the other one. But we won't tell you which one it is because we'll leave you in suspense. It's pretty obvious which one it is. Maybe.
But
Is it?
to those who know, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We'll leave you in suspense. All right, everybody. Sweet. So yes, good times. Make sure you become a Patreon if you want to be involved in the next competition there for the 320. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, bring me in on a badge. You've already got a badge, right? Firetop? Because I was getting everybody's packages ready for with badges in and stickers and stuff. Because I got new stickers as well. If you need stickers, let me know. And then because I had Firetop's address for the Ali Bongo grow off, I was like, might as well just drop Firetop some as well. So and didn't tell him about it, and then it just arrived, and he's like, I don't know why I got this, but nice one.
Yeah. Hey, I almost didn't get these badges because you used that fake name I gave you. So
Right.
because I was like, oh, just use the one Mang one. And when the guy rocked up, the postie, because it's like registered mail, right? So when the guy rocked up, he's like, are you one Mang? I'm like, yes. And he's like, because if you're not, I can't give you this.
Oh shit. God
I
damn.
was like,
Oh,
yeah, that's
geez.
me. That's me. He goes, and I said to him, I said, oh, it's just one of my mates from the UK. He just he takes a piss and sends me some weird shit. And he goes, okay, so if I get one that's like addressed to David Hasselhoff or something, just give it to you. I'm like, yeah, just give it to me. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'll do that next time. I'll send it to David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
I'll put it the Hoff. That's right.
The Hoff. Yeah. The Hoffmeister.
Nice. Yeah, man. So everybody smoke. Everybody hit your monkey pipes. Hit the like button if you haven't done that already, and all that YouTube lark. Let me just quickly remind you here. We got the 320 going out in July. In August, there will be the HLG 350 with reflectors. Nice light. September, we have the Blackbird going out. Everybody.
Yeah, that 350R is a killer light. That's what I'll run. Those things are excellent lights. So yeah, you
Nice.
definitely want to be in a comp for that one. For sure.
And then October will be the 700, which is recently released. But the 700 will be going to the pumpkin carving competition, everybody. But South Silly, I think it was you won last year, bro, with your artistic skills. Sorry, bro. I do have to say you're not allowed to enter this year. You smashed it too hard last year. All right, but if you do enter, you're only allowed to enter on the last day. So everybody else can enter without the fear and intimidation of what they get from your fucking entries. God damn. But
don't feel bad. I'm not allowed to enter Plan of the Months anymore unless it's on the last day.
Yeah. God damn. Jesus. No, everybody looks and be like, who entered it? Yeah, I'm not entering this month. You know?
Yeah,
I'll wait until
usually
next month. And then there's another one. It's like, oh, I'm not playing. God damn.
Yeah, we've already got our 3 bubble. We just fill in the numbers these days, you know.
Yeah, I did it. I mean, look, it was a nice plant. I was not expecting it to take the win.
Well, that's kind of like this month, you know. We got the first plant in, and people going like, "Oh, I can't beat that."
Yeah, that thing looks real nice.
Yeah, god damn, it's Backblast, right? That fucking
That
purple and
was.
grey thing. God damn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
That's what
all
happens
the
when
colours.
you get an epic one comes in the first day. It scares everybody off. That's okay. I'm still in there for what it's worth. You know, it's all for fun. So I appreciate it when people still put their stuff in there so we can see it.
There's Firefly. Just seen Firefly in the chat. Hello, Firefly. Welcome. Good to see you all in the chat there. And just to finish this off, on November, we have the 750 for the HLG. And then December, we find out who Member of the Year is. And they will win the Scorpion Diablo. The Diablo X.
Yeah.
Damn. What a light. Yes, thank you,
That's a
HLG, for
bad
being
boy light.
legendary. Yeah, man. I'm going to go grab a drink then while you all sing the song in barbershop quartet, minus the bass, you know?
No, Marge is going to do the baritone for us.
Yeah,
Right.
Marge can do it. That's right. Good. Do it, Marge. Do it.
It's 4 people. Come on, you can't go.
Okay, we'll do one quick. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Hello, Meringue term. Yeah.
Take it away. Take it away, Mackie.
Shit. Right, we're back in a minute. No copyright songs, though. Be careful, okay? Don't get flagged. All right.
Only reason I knew that one is Woody used that as part of a meme. I think it was last week in one of his posts. So yeah, the frog made an appearance on Percy's.
Oh dear.
You know the frog I'm talking about, huh?
That's the one with his little cane and top hat.
Oh yeah, that
Oh
guy.
yeah.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby.
That's timeless. That
Yeah, certain things like that, you say them and almost everybody around the world knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm getting a few tags in the chat. Send me your safe addresses over at Percy's, guys, and I'll get them sent out to you. I only have a few of the original ones left, like the original avatar I had, but I am ordering some new ones for this new avatar. So when they get in, I can send some more. But if you want one, let me know.
Yeah.
And I'll get them sent out to you.
Don't share any personal information in the chat, please.
Yeah. Don't drop anything in live chat. Send it to me on Percy's.
By all means, that's where we like to get it from.
And I'll get them delivered ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, people are asking me sometimes via Instagram for stickers and pins and things like that. We do all of that via Percy's. So yeah, if you're going to request that stuff like that, you need to be a member of Percy's and message us via Percy's, because that's safe and secure, and that's what we know.
I have stickers too, so I can send them out.
Yes, by all means.
Yeah.
I don't even have a Marge sticker. I'm telling you, I'm deprived.
I don't have a Marge sticker.
What?
No, I don't have one either.
Well, fill me
Unacceptable.
Monkey, bubble hop. You know what to do.
Yeah.
I want to put it on my distilled water machine that I've got. As I picked up a distilled water machine to make Fico with, because I got sick of spending $80 for 500 mils of of alcohol to strip it down to make the Fico. So I'm like, maybe if I get a distiller, I can recapture some of that. So I've currently got about an ounce soaking, making some green dragon in the freezer at the moment. So it's been in there for about a week. So it's going to be ripe and ready for the picking. I'm not a quick wash kind of guy.
So you're going to go to Fico, and from the Fico to the edibles, and then we have bubble hop strength, right?
Yeah. Fuck around and find out, man.
Yeah, have a bite of that and see what happens. Strength.
Yeah.
So I'll usually take an ounce, and that ounce will go down into your Fico, and then all that Fico straight into the gummy mix.
Oh, so the whole ounce goes in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I generally get anywhere from around about 10 to 13, 14 gummies out of it.
How big are these gummies now, though?
A little bit bigger than regular size gummies.
I would imagine so.
And I've got, because I dust them in citric acid and sugar as well, so they're like sour gummies. So like I've got blackberry stuff, the blackberry jelly I use at the moment, and so I'll use that, make it up, and then put the citric acid on the outside to give it a nice sweety sour taste. And then about an hour and a half later, buckle up.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's weird for me because I'm kind of used to it. Like it's a whole different ball game to smoking it.
It is definitely, yeah.
If you're okay with higher tolerances, it's not bad. But you do have to be careful. It's way too easy with things like gummies to just smash 2 or 3 and be like, now I've fucking ballsed up here. So
Yeah.
Because I worked it out, and it was like last time I did it, each gummy was like close to 400 milligram or something.
Good
And I'm
God.
like, it's just,
That's too much,
which
bro.
was, no, it's not though. It was
No, I mean,
perfect.
No, I mean, I don't mind a gummy, and this is going to sound high too, Marge. I don't mind a gummy that's like 40 milligrams or something like that, because
Right.
I can, that's okay for me. I can deal with that. I can take two if I want to. One's usually plenty, but I
Mhm.
don't know about these hundreds. You're getting into the hundreds, it's getting a little rough,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm to
yeah.
20 to 30 milligrams myself. Usually that's
Yeah.
the sweet spot. So 400 would, I'd be fucked.
It's not sweet
Perfect.
anymore at that point,
It's
is it? No.
Yeah.
perfect. Just sitting on the couch, mushed, melting.
Yeah. Thinking like, well, do I really want something? No, I just want to sit here. You kind of melted
Yeah.
into the couch at that level,
It just depends. It really comes down to your tolerance. So
Yeah.
if like the more of it you have, you generally tend to build a bit more of a tolerance. But
Mhm.
yeah, not for the faint of heart. Definitely, if you've not had an edible before, don't go jumping in the deep end.
Oh,
No, I
fuck
would,
no. That would be,
yeah.
that would be a mistake.
Hmm.
So yes,
Yeah.
I have returned.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
just
Well,
in
and
my chair here. Fucking, what's wrong with this chair?
Well,
Sorry,
and to
mate.
finish that up, though, I mean, if anybody ever gets that far deep into an edible and starts freaking out, just relax, because guess what? It's going to wear off. You're going to
Yeah.
be okay. You just need to ride it out. So find a friend, find something to occupy yourself. It will pass.
Drink some
A
orange
nice
juice.
warm shower helps.
Yeah, and bring up
Uh,
the blood sugar levels, and you feel much
Orange
better.
juice and black pepper, they say, because of the caryophyllene, I've heard.
Yeah,
Mhm.
black pepper's a good one. Chew on some peppercorns.
But yeah,
At the very least, it'll wake you up.
well, it'll keep you thinking about something else for a while, and that's really important. Distracting
Yeah.
yourself with other things is a good way to get past some of those bad times if you overdo it. I think
Nice.
we've
Well,
all been
usually
there
worst
once,
case scenario, you just go to sleep. It's not a hard.
That's the best thing to do. If you're really having a bad time on edibles, go take a nap.
No, I tried that when I was on acid. I've been
That's
tripping
different.
balls
no,
for
you
like
can't.
8 hours, and I'm like, man, I really need to sleep now. I'm gonna try that. Wasn't working. I had to watch
no,
Trailer Park Boys fucking hours instead.
acid's a whole different ball game.
Mhm.
Yeah, the rules don't apply when it
Yeah.
comes
No.
to acid.
So when you're completely fucked like that, it's difficult to sleep, man. Your mind just don't stop, innit?
Right.
Good fun. Good fun. It's an experience we all enjoy, I think.
Hmm.
Yes. So,
But yes, that's where I'm putting my Marge sticker anyway. On the
Awesome.
nice. That was a
the
long
gum.
story for where you put no March sticker.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Shit.
know what that is, though, Mackie. You were gone for that, so and we ain't
Yeah,
telling
you
you where
know.
he's putting that sticker
I
now.
know. We'll leave it as a mystery.
Mystery, at least until he goes to edit this episode, and then all will be revealed.
True.
Right, so let's do it. Let's go on to the Grow Guide to talk about some listener mail and Q&A and shit. We all ready for that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
And here we are for episode 72. I think on episode 36, we did a listener questions and answers episode. So I thought, we're at 72, that's double 36. Why not do it again? Maybe we could do another one at like 108 when we've doubled 36 again. Is that correct? I think that's correct. I think that's quick maths. Yeah.
Quick maths.
How about questioning it?
Yeah, so this is what we're going to talk about today. Just some random listener questions and answers. Some of the basic questions that are asked by new cannabis growers as well, just to cover a few of those. So if you are here live watching us in the live chat and you want to ask us a question, of course, there's some questions that we can't answer because we grow illegally and shit, but there's lots of growing questions that we can answer, maybe philosophical questions, things like that. So if you have questions, just put a Q with semicolon and type your question after that, and we'll know you're talking to us. So, we had lots of questions from Billy over at Discord, but all of you know what Billy is like, so some of those are not askable, but some of those are. So, we'll move on to one of Billy's questions to start off with, because it's an interesting one. We spoke about this week with Jeremy Silver from Builder Soil. He said, or Billy said, what size pot should I grow my living soil plants in? Which is a good question. Yeah, this is one which comes up
Great
quite
question.
often. What
Yeah.
do you think, Monkey? Because you was in the interview
Well,
for this.
Jeremy says if you're doing a no-till living soil bed, now that's the big part of it, is no-till living soil right there. That would be a 15-gallon pot minimum size he would use for that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Then using the same question, throwing it at Marco, he said 20-gallon would be the minimum he would use. So either one of those if you're using a no-till.
Yeah. You know, this whole gallon thing as well. Yeah, 15 gallons up, 10 possible. Yeah, 10's possible. I mean, the smaller it is, who was it? Was it Jeremy who said it's like or was it Marco? Brian from Brian and Marco show. It's like a fish in a fish tank versus a fish in a swimming pool. If something goes wrong in the fish tank, there's a lot less space for it to work, and you know the fish will get damaged. But the exact same thing can go wrong in a swimming pool, but the swimming pool is much bigger, so there's plenty of space for it to work itself out. And that's
bigger pot.
That's like it is. Yeah.
Bigger buffer and bigger pots. So yeah,
Mhm,
easy to
mhm.
do that. Now, I don't know if he's talking about, maybe like a super soil grow. That could be completely different though. If you're talking about just not so much of a no-till situation, but let's say you put your super soil in a pot and going to grow that out. What size pot would you use, Mackie, for a living soil grow? Because I think that's
as
what
big as possible. As big as
That's what-
living
for a
soil is.
super soil.
Yeah, for super soil, it's a little different. I mean, you can go for like
Yes.
25 liters, and that should be okay.
There you go.
I would say that's like 6 gallon. Is it 25 liter? About 6 gallon, depending on what kind of gallon you're using. But yeah, 25 liters seems to do the job just fine. But then you have to re-amend your soil more often and things like that. If you want to go for the proper super soil, the living soil with all the bacteria and things living in it and things like that, you want it to have a nice amount of space. So yeah, if you could push for that 30 gallon, which is fucking huge, man. It's like a 60 liter pot, isn't it? And that's big, man. It's big. And that's minimum. You want to try and go bigger than that. And he says he can fit 4 of those in a 4x4. Marco did.
He did. And yeah, I actually looked at the size of that pot, and that's like a 19-inch diameter pot, average, or like the 15-gallon. So yeah, you could easily fit that 19-inch pot into a 24-inch space, but no problem fitting that in there.
Yeah, man, if that kind of shit interests you, then I would definitely recommend you go back and listen to the interview from Jeremy that we sent out this week on Wednesday. So it's the most recent interview. Just go back and check there. And on Wednesday, I'll be sending out the interview that we did with Marco, which is like a continuation from the stuff we was talking about with Jeremy. So a couple of epic interviews, over the next couple of weeks. That one with Jeremy, this one with Marco. Just loads of great information. So if you're thinking about super soil or living soil, then these 2 episodes are going to be massively important to you, man. Make sure you get your pen and paper ready and take notes while you're listening to those ones.
I was going to say, I went back and listened to him, and you covered a hell of a lot. There's a lot of information there. If that's the direction you want to head in, definitely jump on and listen to those.
Good shit. They were damn good shows. Damn good shows. And of course, if you're a Patreon, you can go check that shit out now. Just go over there and click the links on the Patreon page, man. You can go and see all of those interviews live. And, well, not live. I keep saying that. It's not live. It's unedited and unabridged, I think is the term that people use. But yeah, good question, Billy. Good question. And I hope that helps out people who are looking to grow and live in soil sometimes soon. I'm not going to ask that one, Billy. I'm not going to ask that one. This is a kind of interesting one. It's a bit of a sarcastic question, but how much CalMag does it take to grow 1 marijuana? Anybody know the answer to that question? Shit.
No.
Well, it depends if it's a big marijuana or a small marijuana.
An average size marijuana.
Okay.
I'd say it takes 4 CalMags.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'd say for a usual grow, I would use no more than 500 milliliters. Even that would be a lot over a standard grow of 4 plants. I wouldn't use too much. So if you've just got like a liter bottle, that should last you for a couple of grows. Reasonably.
Unless you're in cocoa. And then, yeah, no.
No, even in my cocoa days, I never used a lot of CalMag. It was only like 1 milliliter per feed. So yeah, and that was for 4 plants.
I'm a menace though. Like in
You are.
5 gallon pots, I'm going through 20 mil per feed
Right.
for both
per
for
feed.
2 plants. Yeah, per
Yeah.
feed. That's where you get caught. It's in the feeds.
Yeah,
So
I calculated it today. I think I'm topping out at 1.3 mils per liter at
Yeah.
full flower high end. So I don't use
Yeah.
a lot of it really.
yeah. Oh yeah, you don't need a whole lot of it, but when you're doing cocoa, because you're feeding so much more, and
Yeah.
because you're obviously having to satisfy the cocoa's urge to suck that out as well. So
Yeah.
that's why I tend to go through a bit more. But I mean, I'll buy a 5 liter CalMag, and I'll probably what 4, maybe I'll get 4 runs out of it, depending how many plants I'm running.
Okay. I mean, I run, my space is equivalent to basically a 4x4, a little bit smaller than that. And I'll probably go through 2 liters of CalMag a year running that space.
Yeah,
And
that's about right.
that's running about, that's 2 plants, 6 plants in that space. So that's about
Yeah.
what I'm running. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm running the 4x4 and the 4x8, I'll generally go through about 3.5, 4
Yeah.
in the year. That's multiple runs through the year. So it's not,
Right.
for $60 for a bottle of CalMag, it's nothing.
Yeah.
In the scheme of things.
Hey, and if we're getting on CalMag right here, we might as well say CalMag fixes a lot of problems, but it can also cause a lot of problems. So use it wisely and use it correctly, or else it can screw up your growth.
Yeah.
Yep. I heard CalMag ended World War II. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, it's just a rumor though. Can't be sure.
I thought it was just Chuck Norris drinking mugs of CalMag and kicking the shit out of everybody.
That's why he's so strong. It's the CalMag.
Yeah,
The CalMag,
allegedly.
that's right.
Allegedly.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
That bloke's going to be 95 and still looking like he's 40.
shit, got to put some CalMag in my morning coffee now.
It just showers in it.
Only jokes, guys. Don't
that's
do that.
right. Just a disclaimer there. No, don't do that,
Right.
anybody. Only Monkey can do that. Okay, just Monkey.
None of this is to be construed as medical advice.
Yeah.
We're not doctors.
This
So
is Stoner
don't-
Conversations, laughing my
Yeah.
ass off. That's all we're doing. Having fun.
But here is another one from Billy Bonds, which I thought was an interesting question, one we should cover as well. How many seeds should I pop when I want to grow about 8 plants? That's a good question, man, because sometimes they don't all pop, and it's like you can't expect all 8 to pop all the time. It's going to depend on like how reliable do you think the breeder is? Have you used the breeder before? Have you popped these similar beans before? What kind of ratio do you have personally as for your popping? It's a tough one, man. I'd probably go for 10. Just have a couple of extra just to be sure.
Yeah, I'd probably do 10 to 12, depending. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of seeds to play with, so maybe other people don't have that same privilege, but I'd probably do 10 to 12.
Yeah, I'm with you, Marge. A lot of people don't have the extra seeds available to them. So I think if you get, in that case, if the seeds are expensive and you're trying to conserve, pop 8, and you can always pop more if all 8 don't go. And I think that's what most people would do. But if you have a lot of seeds, yeah, I would probably pop 10 to keep 8. But back in the day, when I didn't have lots of seeds in reserve, I would pop 8 and I would go with 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, and it's
I suppose the other
be
side.
having enough. Yeah, sorry, but what you got, man?
No, I was going to say the other side depends on whether you're running regs or FEMs or because it once you get past the germination stage, it then becomes are you going to get 7 males and then
Right.
so
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a consideration to make as well.
That's happened to me too before, where I pop some seeds and then fuck.
It's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
It's happened to me too.
Dealing with regs is always interesting because you'll pop the extras. I'll usually pop doubles, and you really don't have to always pop doubles if you're popping regs, because I think in my experience, and I think when I'm reading, they say that slightly higher percentages will be female, but still, 50-50. But then the problem is, what happens if they're all female? And now you got, 16 females and you only need 8. What do you do? And that's when it gets hard. Some people do, and I have done that, but you have to actually become good at killing plants sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard to kill them plants, man.
It is.
It's not like, I know they're hard to die, but when you have to actually go up to a little plant with so much potential and you just have to pull it because you don't have room for it. It's fucking tragic, man. I hate doing that shit.
It
Hate
becomes
just feel
easier when you
bad.
have more seeds in
Survival of the
reserve.
fittest. for
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm. No, you should have grown nicer. It's your own fault. I'm only killing you because you look worse than everything else. You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
Just-
had one tent recently that had a spot for 4, and I popped 4 seeds, and they were all females. And yeah, I had to do exactly what you're saying, Mackie. Basically, look at the plant and say, this one looks a little bit better than this one. So it's going to stay, that one's going to go.
But you know what's even worse? You know when you like try and grow 4 plants, so you pop 4 seeds and then one of them don't work out, so then you've got one which is like a week behind the rest. That
Yeah.
week makes a big fucking difference in them early days. You got all these boxes
Yeah.
standing on, buckets and shit. And then
Yeah.
transplanting at different times. Oh, it's such a pain in the ass.
different feed rates. Like,
Mhm, mhm,
I don't play that. If plant's only a week out, I can generally get it caught up pretty well.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, and then if you have too many, it's summertime, man. Go and find a fucking bush somewhere. If you're gonna kill it anyway, don't kill it. Just go and plant it somewhere.
Right.
You know, even if
Set it
somebody
free.
finds it, who cares? You know, you're gonna kill it anyway. You know, you might come back in a few months' time and find that it's flowered and it might have more on it than all your rest. So,
right in the middle of the roundabout in the middle of town. Perfect spot.
oh yeah,
That
I
would
know
be
what I'm saying.
awesome.
Yeah, so that's a good question, man. We just had one land in the chat there from Noxie. Was it from Noxie? I can't remember who it was. No, it was Filmy Balls. A quick shout out to Noxie there as well for being a legend, just in case he's out there. What was your favourite plant that you have grown and what made it special? That's an interesting question, man. Marge, what have you got? What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough
I've
question, isn't it?
actually- It is. I do really like some of the outdoor ones that I've done, I think,
Mhm.
which is pretty vague. But I've done some like a magic melon that was really nice. But there's just something I really like about growing outdoors. It feels a little more, maybe because our winters are so long here, but I really like the outdoor grow. Probably
Right.
more so than the indoor, just because it feels more as the way Mother Nature intended.
Mhm. Yeah, I know what you're
It
saying.
just means it's summer here and everything's just easier and life is good and the sun's shining and nobody has seasonal affective disorder. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, man, them outdoor grows, it's like sun-grown cannabis is the best shit, man. It's just the way it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So not really specific, a favorite plant per se, but definitely a real love of growing outside.
Yeah, what are you saying, Bubble?
Oh, white rhino, man.
Just as
That
easy as
shit
that.
was.
As easy
That
as that.
shit is
Wow.
my jam. Fucking love that strain. And it was like years ago. I had a mate, and he got a bag of it, and there was 2 seeds in the bottom of it. And he's like, "Oh, do you want them?" I armed and hard, and I took it home and I grew it, and I haven't grown a plant as good ever since. Like, it was just one of those ones that just came out perfect and fucking stank. My lord, did it stink! But just covered in frost too. It was like just dipped in icing sugar, sort of shit. Like, it was. Oh,
Yeah, man.
it's just, I'm gonna look up and see if I can get some more white rhino now.
Do it.
He's sitting on 6,000 seeds, but
Yeah, I've got so many seeds I need to run before I buy more. You think that's gonna stop me?
Oh.
Nope.
White rhino is extinct, right?
I think it is.
Yeah, like the actual white rhino. That's a quick Google
Oh,
search.
like the animal, you mean?
Yeah.
Is it the white?
Is
The white or the
rhino.
black rhino?
Yeah, I think the black rhino is. White rhino extinct. Near threatened. Near threatened. White rhino.
So not extinct, but almost.
Yeah, tragic. The things that happen. It's a fucking dinosaur. That is. God damn.
They do look like dinosaurs, don't they?
It's weird, man. Some
It's
crazy
like look
animals
up
out there.
look up a cassowary while you're at it. You want to see a dinosaur? It's a proper murder bird. That one.
A cassowary?
Cassowary. So CASSOWARY. I think. I could be wrong.
Fuck me. Yeah, that's a fucking weird looking bird. It looks like one
Murder
of them
bird.
ones from Jurassic Park. You know that.
Yeah.
And then it spits in your face. You know that one?
And they'll kick shit out of you, man.
Yeah, it looks
I
like
think
that.
you've mentioned them before on this show.
You know, grab it by the top of its freaky looking head there.
Yeah, yeah.
Bitch
Good luck
slap
with
it.
that.
Like, what
Because it
now,
ain't the head
bird?
you got to worry about, bro.
See
It's the
these
big ass
thumbs,
foot
motherfucker?
claws.
Oh yeah,
Have you
shit.
seen that?
Yeah.
Have you seen that bird that makes the sound like it's a machine gun? What's that? What bird is that?
And
That
the
looks
mimic
very.
bird, yeah, the bird that mimics everything. Yeah.
No, it's just its call sounds like a machine gun.
Wow. I don't know, but this is a random tangent. You know?
It is. It is.
Sorry.
What are you saying about plants, monkey? What's your favorite? Do you have a memorable one?
You know, I'm looking back at my pictures that I've kept during the grows, and I'm going back and back. I think the favorite one that I've ever had is the one that's in the tent now. You know, that's it, not specifically the one that's there now. My favorite plant is the one I'm currently growing, no matter when that is. That's just the way it is.
Right.
I love them all. That's all I have to say. I love them all for different reasons.
Man, I mean, you all listen to the show for a long time. I think you know that I love my lemon tree.
Yeah.
You know, my Jack Hera.
Yeah,
And there's so many
right.
strains that I love, but
Your blue cheese,
you know what I'm saying?
CBD
There's so
cream
many-
and cheese. Come on
God
now.
damn. Yeah, it's difficult to choose, man.
It
But
is hard.
that you know, I'll bring it up again. The montage video, everybody. That montage video of the Jack Hera grow. That was fucking. I enjoyed that grow very much. Put a lot of work into that grow, and and documented it the whole way, which I don't usually do. So that was very cool. You know, that Jack Hera in the scrog, man. That was a memorable grow, and nice plants to grow as well. You know, easy. There was no trouble. Everything just went smooth from start to finish. That was my shit.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Oh, shoe bills. Yeah.
Yeah, just to circle back to the prehistoric bird thing.
Is that the one? Is that the one that they make us sound like when their beak cracks? That's pretty loud as well.
Yeah, that
That's
sounds
like
like
a
a
gun.
machine gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also have like this huge beak, and they do look pretty creepy and prehistoric as well.
Apparently, they're pretty docile birds, though, aren't they?
I have no idea. Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
I think any
Don't want-
bird is going to attack you. Actually, it's funny. My husband was out with some friends recently. He plays disc golf. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was out in this course, and they came across like a turkey nest, and the
Mhm.
turkey attacked him.
Yeah.
He said it was the freakiest thing because this thing just like came right at
You know,
him, and it was, like, super- I don't know if it was gobbling or not, but it was very aggressive. And yeah, because obviously it's like nest was really close to where they were. They didn't realize it. They kind of just stumbled upon it. But any bird that's coming at you is terrifying.
Mm-hmm. They are like legit dinosaurs, man. Especially them fuckers with the claws. Yeah,
Yep.
God damn. God damn.
Yep.
Hmm.
But we have
Who
an
made that
interesting
turkey
question.
sound,
Sorry,
by
Marge.
the way?
Sorry.
I was just asking who made that turkey sound because it was like really spot on.
That was me. That was me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well done.
There's a song that comes on when we go shopping sometimes, and it's the woman. It just drives me fucking crazy, man, because it's like the woman is legit making just turkey sounds over a microphone. That's what it sounds like.
They
to me.
call it music, and they pay her for that.
No, but you know the tune. It's like gobble gobble gobble. You know that one?
No,
No.
I don't know that
Come
one.
on, she doesn't
Must
actually
be
say
a UK
gobble
thing.
gobble gobble, but that's the tune she says it in. Gobble gobble gobble. You all know it. Listening in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. But I've been there. Like,
yeah, that one. That's Lizzo's new one. Like
thanks, Bubble. Thanks. But I'll be walking through fucking Asda, and it's packed out with people, and I'll just be like, and the missus looking at me like, "Will you shut the fuck up, you crazy bastard?" I'm sure that's what the other people are. They want to look, but they're doing the bombastic side eye to bring that up again. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy?
You're like the British Randy Marsh, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much, mate. Pretty much. Polka dot drops.
Okay. Are you PC too, Mackie? You like Randy?
What do you mean PC? Like PC principle?
Yeah, like politically correct. Randy's got he's PC now.
Oh yeah. No, I'm definitely not PC.
I was
with
wondering
shit.
about that now.
God damn. But yeah, we had an interesting question. I mean, Billy sent in a few interesting questions here. I won't read them all out because they'll flag us. But here's one which was appropriate. This is like, I've asked 2 of Billy's questions so far. I'm about 8 questions down, and this is the next one I'm going to ask because the rest were inappropriate. But thanks for trying, Billy. You know, would the smoke from the fires affect my weed's flavor? As there are people of fires in Canada and France about now. He just wanted to add that France thing, didn't he? But yeah, I assume
It
it
is a great
wouldn't.
question.
Yeah, there's been crops lost because of the fires in California from the wildfires in California over the last couple of years, right? Jim Belushi's farm being one of them. I know that he had a lot of he was at least affected by that shit. What do you think, Bubble? I mean, you get fires out your way as well, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really had a massive issue as far as flavor goes when we've had bushfires run through. Um, but it's the ash that lands on it that's the problem. It's not that shit gets stuck up in the trichomes and the resins, and you never get it out. And yet that does taste a bit like bushy.
You do notice the taste of that when
A
you have
little,
the
yeah, that's there,
right.
but I don't think it's necessarily the smoke as much as it's the ash that's landing on it that changes the flavor.
You'd have to be pretty close to the fires for that because, like, I've smelled
Uh,
wildfires where I am, even though they're like hundreds of miles away. But
you'd
that
be
wouldn't affect my.
surprised. You'd be surprised how far ash can travel. We've had fires like hundreds of kilometers away, and you get up in the morning on a cold morning after the smoke's been blowing. As long as the wind's blowing in your direction, ash will travel on that breeze for hundreds of kilometers. And it's like, when when a volcano or something erupts and all of that ash cloud then rains down for like a week and if it gets right up because it goes so far up into the atmosphere, it then just blows all around, and people in completely different countries across massive bodies of water end up finding ash on all their stuff. So,
Crazy
but
shit,
yeah,
man.
it's
That shit
that would
travels.
be, yeah, it does.
Hey,
Well, they were saying that
Marco, sorry, Marge.
I was just saying some of the wildfire smoke they were saying was now being in Canada was like drifting over to Europe. They could smell it.
When Marco was on the show the other day, he was saying, and where was he, Monkey? Can you, where was it?
Virginia.
Virginia, yeah, that's right. And so that's pretty, like 1,000 miles or so down from Canada. But he's like smoky around there because of those fires. Not just like a little bit, it's like noticeably, but it's smoky because of fires from that far away. That's crazy shit, man. And, if that smoky smell gets on everything. So it's going to get on your plants, man, especially if there's ash getting on there as well. It's going to affect the flavor a little bit. But, I like smoked things. Smoked ham.
Smoked cannabis.
You know what I mean? Smoked cannabis, definitely a good one there. Yeah, I don't like smoked salmon, though. It's like, just flash that shit in the pan for a little bit. Why are you raw fucking salmon? God damn. Anyway. Well, yeah, interesting question, man. What do you think about that, Monkey?
About what?
About the smoke, would it affect the taste of the cannabis, the wildfires and shit?
I'm sure if it was enough smoke, it would affect the taste of the cannabis. But I think, like Bolhawk said, that would be my biggest fear would be getting an ash on your weed, more so than the smoke, even like that. And I think that's, if I remember right, that's what the growers in California were worried about last year and the year before was ash on your weed, because you'll definitely get some flavor there. And it's not going to let you pass inspection either. You'll fail. It'll be contaminated. So, yeah.
Man. We have a good question here from Traveling with JJ. Said, how do you stop yourself from checking on your seedlings every 5 minutes? It's a good question.
Laugh, you don't.
It's good. Yeah, that's it. You don't. What's wrong with checking them every 5 minutes, mate?
That's right.
What's wrong with
Go
you?
in, sing a song,
Exactly. Check them. Just
them.
don't touch them. Don't touch them.
No.
Just check them. Yeah, spend some time in a tent and shit. There's nothing wrong with that, man. If you're gonna be in there a while, get a book. Take your iPad or your tablet in there and play some games. Do something, man. Spend some time with your plants. It's all good. And keep looking every 5 minutes to see if something's happened. And probably nothing's happened, but at some point something will.
It is like the watch pot never boils, but
Yeah.
you're not doing any harm.
That's right, man. Check on your plants, bro.
Yeah, I used to do it a lot more when I was a new grower, checking on them constantly. But nowadays I'm probably just once or twice a day.
Mine's like fucking every 5 days now. Never mind 5 minutes. God, no.
I'm cocoa grower though. I got to check it. Got to do it.
Yeah. Then
Twice a day.
another good one here from Filmy Bowls. He says, if you had a choice to go back in time and smoke out with somebody famous, who would it be? What do you say,
Great
Monkey?
question.
What's your choice here?
Jeez, that's a hard one. I've never thought about that actually, you know? Who would I want to go back and smoke with? I mean, there's so many there. You're thinking like, what about Peter Grinspoon, you know? What about Carl Sagan? Those would be pretty epic sessions right there. Hard to pick just one. That's just it.
I mean, it would have to be an historical figure who I think wouldn't kill me. You know, it's like go back and smoke with Genghis Khan there, and you know he gets a little bit high, and then he's like, huh! And just chops you with his fucking sword and shit. It's like, oh, that was a bad choice. You know?
Yeah.
Really?
God damn. Yeah. So, did you have a decision there, Monkey? The
No,
time
really.
machine's ready, bro.
Nope, I don't have a decision. You gotta
Well,
come back to me
I
later.
have an answer.
What you
you
got,
go,
Marge? Who you got?
And this is because I saw it come up in the chat, and these kinds of questions stump me all the time because suddenly I can't think of anybody who's dead that I would want to smoke with.
I see
But-
it.
I would want to go back and sesh with Cleopatra, I think, because she was pretty badass and, you know, did some cool shit. So, I
And
think
she
that'd
could
be
talk loads
interesting.
of
That's one-
languages as well.
What's that?
And she could talk loads of languages as well.
Could she? I didn't even know that.
She was apparently really smart. Yeah, she spoke like 7 languages or something crazy. She was real smart.
Yeah,
man.
she was like a very interesting, powerful woman, and I think it'd be super. And I mean, sure, the Egyptian hash back then was fire. So
I don't know, man. I would come back and the wife would be asking me where I've been and shit, you know.
Ballista in the chat said to Frenchie, which is a great answer as well. That
That's
would
a
be
great answer,
super,
that one.
super cool person to sesh with, like if you could go back in time.
Just
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
around great person, period. Yeah.
Cherry Garcia.
Nice. What are you saying, Bubble? What's your choice?
Steve Irwin, bro.
Oh yeah. Of course, Australian.
Can you imagine how interesting that'd be getting high with him? The next minute you're out in the bush picking up dangerous fucking animals. Fuck yes.
Yeah,
It's
that
got
was,
her-
well, I don't know if I'd want to be high for that.
Be all over all over that. Oh crikey, check this little bugger out. Fuck yeah, Steve, hand me that snake.
Yeah, now shove your a la South Park. Now shove your thumb up his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so difficult to come up with somebody. There's so many options, isn't there? It's a tough one, man. Maybe I don't know. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. I'd just go back into like where the pyramids first started getting built, and I'd just smoke spliff on my own and watch that. You know, fuck everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going back in time for like a whole like century or something, not just for like one smoke sesh.
Yeah, man, it'd be so cool. I just want to see what it looked like before the pyramids were there. I know most people
Right.
want to go and see the pyramids, but it's like I want to see it before the pyramids were there.
Right. Before
That
all
would
the
be
sprawl.
interesting. Yeah. Before they ruin the horizon.
That's right. All the urban sprawl.
But that's some interesting shit. But yeah, there's so many good ones, man. You know, like George Orwell would be a good one. Christopher Hitchens. Imagine going back and smoke a spliff for Christopher Hitchens. God damn, how fucking cool would that be?
Well, wait a minute. Think about Mark Twain smoking a split with Mark Twain.
Oh God,
No,
that would be
same.
great.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a conversation after that one.
Yeah, there's so many options, man. You know, like John Lennon. You know, imagine go back and smoking a spliff with the Beatles way back in 1962. You know what I'm saying? Before all the big shit kicked off. Wow. You sit there
I
and
might
chill
want
with
to
the Beatles.
smoke something with Bob Ross. I think he'd be
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
Yeah, Bob Ross.
You know what I'm
cool.
saying?
Chill.
That'd be
A
epic.
happy joint.
Do you want a little hit of this, my squirrel friend?
Yeah.
No, Da
Oh,
Vinci,
my-
That's
yeah.
another one.
Yeah, here, take a
Tolkien,
hit off my
yeah.
little mighty joint. Oh God, Bob Ross.
Yeah. God damn. That's it. So many options, man. So many options. Damn. Shit. Who would you really choose?
That's where you need the barbecue, man.
You know, the
that's
captain
the-
of the Titanic, had it?
Yeah.
They're smoking
Yeah.
him, like, bro,
Yeah, what
you're
do you
just
think?
paranoid, man. There's no icebergs.
Yeah.
So, bro, I
Since
tell you,
we're-
it's an iceberg coming. No, man, ain't no iceberg.
You
Since
know?
you're on that, did you see James Cameron turned around and said that he spent more time on the Titanic than the captain has?
Oh,
I'm
that-
like,
that-
bro,
yeah,
I'm pretty
that's a bit
certain that
savage,
fucker
yeah.
went down with the ship. He spent well
Yeah, I
more time
suppose.
than
Yeah. Mhm.
you.
God, I mean, he hasn't actually been on the Titanic. He's looked at it through a fucking submarine, but he hasn't actually been on it, has he? Have you stepped foot on it?
well,
No. Yeah,
well,
goddamn.
at least his was, I don't know, successful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because
came
you
back
see
to
the
talk
difference
about-
between the fucking subs. There's a big difference, man. God damn. Shit. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
good
still,
question.
still
Sorry.
like that lowering the bar South Park episode.
Oh yeah.
With the can you hear the music up there, fine guys?
Can you hear my music? There
Yeah.
we hear it.
Yeah.
Which I haven't heard. I haven't seen that episode. I still haven't
Oh,
seen any
you've
of the new
got to
season.
watch
Man.
it.
James
So
Cameron.
good.
I'm
Yeah,
missing
that
out
music.
here.
Yeah,
Missing
he's
out.
like going down in the sub, and as he's going
Hear the
deeper,
theme song.
he's just puts his music theme song on. It's like James Cameron going to explore the world as he's like driving like
Can
floating
you hear
down
the
into the
music?
depths. Yeah, and he's like just over the radio. He's like, can you hear the music? And they're like, yes, James, we can hear it. And they're all sitting on deck listening to it like he's doing it every 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
As the
So,
last, I was going to say before we move on to the next question, my last contribution to this question is Betty White. I would smoke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Betty.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
God,
Love Betty.
Filmy Ball's
Mhm.
got another interesting one there. What's with it? Are you high, Filmy Balls?
Maybe.
He said, if aliens landed and wanted to take you for a quick ride and some cannabis, what would you bring to smoke with them? Fuck that, bro. They're saying, come for a ride. We have weed. They have weed. I'm not bringing weed. They got weed. They're offering.
Um,
Is that what he's asking
Shit.
though? Or is it like, hang on, I'm going to bring the snacks? Like, am I bringing charcuterie or something? Or
Yeah. Yeah, what
Just
would
give
you
me 10
what would
minutes
you
and
bring
then
to
knock up
smoke
some
with them?
poutine.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Miracle
Cookie for
alien
picnic
cookies.
basket?
Mm.
Come on, gotta be miracle alien cookies. What else?
Yes.
I'd ask them for their top recipe and then make it and infuse it and bring it.
They'd
Yeah,
like
that's
to
a
eat
good idea.
humans.
Well, that would not work for me.
I wouldn't trust
Yeah.
them.
They're Klingon and they eat their food live. Ooh.
All right.
You know, what would you bring to smoke with them? How about making some of that cannabis lube? Because you're gonna need it when they probe you.
Oh, fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
This man.
Oh my god. Well, you're probably not wrong.
I love that that's a thing though. It's like they travel billions of light years or whatever just to come and stick something up someone's ass. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Why would they do that?
Maybe they think it's our mouth, man. You know?
Huh?
This is how they eat, right?
Geez, it's a weird looking tonsil.
Savage. Yeah, good question, man. But let's did anybody answer this? I don't think any of us answered this. What
I
I'm
said
not-
snacks. I said I'm bringing
you said
snacks.
snacks, right? And
And
Monkey said
edibles.
miracle alien cookies, right?
Yeah, I'm going in Mac 1. Yeah.
And you said
Mhm.
lube. So
Yeah, I'm taking lube just in case.
yeah, he's the paranoid one. I'm like, let's go for a picnic. He's just like, I need the lube.
I'm going alien OG butter and sauce.
All right.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. You can get
Good
those aliens
choice.
hot up.
Put my
Yeah.
boss said, I just spit my drink out. Thanks, guys. Nice. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, so we've got other questions as well, which are a little bit more cannabis related. And, these are from our friend ChatGPT as well, because I wanted to try and find out what are the most common questions that new growers ask. So we could cover a couple of these. And, there's this one here. What is the best grow medium for cannabis? It's one of those tough ones, isn't it? It's like there's no real answer to this question. You have to find out what works best for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an it depends answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Another one is how often should I water my cannabis plants? That's another.
It depends.
Depends, man. It depends. If you're growing in hydroponics like cocoa and shit, water every day at least. But if you're growing in soil, it could be a day. It could be 2, 3, 4. It's gonna be fucking ages, man. It depends. It depends.
Yeah. Could even be every day if you're in a very small pot with soil. But yeah, you got to read your plants, guys. Yeah, read your plants.
When should I start using nutrients on my cannabis plants? It depends.
Yeah, Chat GP just out there with the
All of that questions depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It depends. Chat GPT needs to sign up to Percy'sGrowroom.com for some fucking real answers and things. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying?
just giving more
Yeah.
questions than it is
Goddamn.
answers at this point.
Yeah.
Because you're still using the freebie ChatGPT. You haven't upgraded yet.
Is there a paid version of ChatGPT you can use?
Oh God, yeah, there has been for a while.
Yeah.
I don't pay for it, but the paid version, it accesses the internet.
Oh, really?
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Yeah. I've not yet committed the funds myself, but
How much
that
is it? Is it stupid money?
no, I think it was like $20 a month.
That's
Which
stupid
I
money,
mean,
Marge.
depending.
I'm looking. I'm looking
But you're
now.
unlocking the secrets of the universe here with AI. Is that, you know,
Yeah, but it's biased.
I suppose it could be.
Yeah, it's dodgy. I think dodgy, little bit dodgy. I'm willing to pay for it for free.
I think they
That,
started out charging more and then they reduced the price, which is something that almost never happens. And again, I don't pay for it, so I don't really know. But if you're using it all the time or whatever, then $20 a month doesn't seem like an outrageous amount of money to pay. But
yeah,
to
just
each
pay
their
for a
own. But
month and
20
get all your work done, and then
US.
cancel.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. What else do we have here? What is the best lighting setup for indoor cannabis growing? It depends.
It depends.
I was waiting for it.
Every question
Yeah.
from here on is going to be
That's fair.
depends.
It's like, how long
So I
does
think
it take for cannabis plants to flower? Anybody got
It
it?
depends.
It
depends.
depends.
I think the
Hey,
takeaway from this
ChatGPT.
is that ChatGPT should be referencing Percy's grow room for better answers or for more robust answers.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder, when this shit does get good, or everybody's paying the $20 for it. It's like, do you even need like websites anymore? Because people
That
will
is
go to
something
the
they have
website.
talked about,
Mm,
and it could totally disrupt the whole SEO game as we currently know it.
yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
a forum like Percy's Grow Room, for instance, allows you to actually talk to human beings, which sometimes offers a little more nuance than what is
Yeah.
currently available.
But when these guys can pass the Turing test there, and you can't tell whether you're talking to an AI or a person, which isn't very far away, I don't think.
Yeah, they already have that. Have you heard of
Yeah.
that replica thing? Where you can like design your own AI chatbot person thing.
See, it's getting there, man. It's getting there.
Yeah.
Computers are smart now. We're pretty fucked.
But still, I'm pretty sure most of the people at Percy's right now are human.
As far as we know.
Most of them, the ones we know about, yeah.
Right. So if you want to talk to real people,
Yeah,
Right,
speak to the real lizard.
Here's another one. And this one isn't really a depends one. What are the best techniques for trimming and curing cannabis buds? Yeah, it's like it depends really. Yeah, there's different methods.
Wet or dry, yeah, exactly.
Thanks for your input, ChatGPT. We massively appreciate you. Thank you. Have you seen that meme as well, where it's like, AI is coming to take your jobs. This is AI accepting the job, and it shows like loads of pictures of hands shaking themselves, and there's three different elbows and the arms and shit.
the hands. I just can't get over the hand.
Yeah, it's like got 7 fingers. So it might be coming for your job, but not yet, But it is coming.
And I've read a lot of stuff too about AI not necessarily coming to take your job, but it will disrupt jobs. And if you know how to use it, then it'll help you because it's an aid as opposed to something that will totally take jobs, I guess. But who knows? I guess we'll see.
Only time will tell.
Have you seen that where they're using it to put Theo Von into conversations?
No,
so
but Theo Von's hilarious, so I would like to see that.
Yeah, they're like taking like video clips of a movie and then they're like editing out the guy responding and just making it Theo Von and like some of the random shit that he says.
Yeah, you fucking know that. Wow, that might actually be it. Maybe he's just an AI bot because he is random as fuck, isn't he?
Yeah, some of the stuff he comes out with. It's like, you remember those magic 8 balls that you used to shake and they give you an answer? I'd love an AI version that you shake and it's just Theo Von comes up with some random shit. You know what I mean? Like he'd ask it a question and it's, I'd buy the shit out of that.
I would buy that for sure. It would be funny.
He is a funny motherfucker. He cracks me up, that guy does. God damn. Yeah, just the random shit he says sometimes. It's just too funny. Too funny.
It's just always so far out of left field too. Like everything.
You just love that one, where he's talking about the crippled kid in his area, and he's like,
Yeah.
it's not like he was
Todd.
crippled or anything. They just didn't teach him how to walk.
Yeah.
He's been carried around on his brother's back and shit. Oh god, funny. Everybody was crap at maths in his school because the maths teacher was so hot, and it's like you'd get your question wrong and go up there just so you could smell her.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's funny, man. And it's like I've heard people say that his stand-up isn't so good, but if you just see him in these random interviews that he has with people across the internet on all these different podcasts, when he's just being fucking random, that's when he's at his funniest, man. Yeah. Funny guy, cracks me up. I love watching Theo. Good shit. Anyway, let's crack on with another question here. We have one from Jinx. He said, I am looking for any hints for growing indica in the tropics. I am moving to Belize in December and don't want to smoke the seed-laden sativas the locals sell.
First of all, amazing. Moving to Belize. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
envious. Secondly, why not grow sativas?
Yeah, that's very true. Maybe you just want, just grow a fucking hybrid. That's what everything is nowadays anyway. It's hard to find anything that's 100% either direction. But is Belize like on the equator? How far off? It's not far off.
Pretty close.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of day cycles you're looking at. Is it 12-12 there and shit,
Well, are you talking outdoor or are you still wanting, because you could always do an indoor run and keep the room cool. And it's just, it's no different to doing it when it's middle of winter and you got to keep heat up. It'd be the same idea. You just got to control that environment the best you can. Aircon, something like that.
And in the question mentioning the fact that, the locals are selling seed-laden sativas, which is telling me that there's a lot of males out there in the open environment. So you may end up with CD indica if you grow it outdoors.
Right. Yeah. So I guess it depends.
Really?
Yeah.
It's ChatGPT all over again.
Really?
Right.
God damn. Yes, does anybody else have any questions out there in the chat? If do, remember to put a Q before the question, because then we know it's for us. Yeah, we could go. That song I was talking about, that gobble gobble gobble, is one thing it is called. It's just one thing that got me tripping. You know that tune? Come on.
Oh, are you talking fucking Beyonce?
No, it's Amory.
Not
her
Beyonce.
name is Amory. It's like a one-hit wonder. This one song came out. I don't know. She must have been sleeping with the guy from Sony or something. But goddamn, it's
I'm gonna find it now.
Yeah, I could drop the link, but it's gonna be a long link. But yeah, it's just search for One Thing Amory, Amerie. Yeah, that's correct. God damn.
Oh, there it is.
You know the one? You know it?
Oh, well, I bet. Hold on.
You gotta know it.
I swear, if I turn it on and it's like just fucking turkey noise.
It's just Rick Roll.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be a Rick Roll out. Yeah, it'll do to you.
You know the one. You'll recognize it, surely.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
13 years ago.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn. It's a classic now, then, right?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you see the gobble gobble gobble.
Yeah. I don't think that's what she's saying, but I get it.
That fucking pisses me off, man, when they're playing that in supermarkets and shit. It's got the volume up loud, like everybody loves it because it's a banger. Oh, fucking Jesus. Hurry up, we're getting the fuck out of here. This is why I have special headphones just to go shopping with,
Do you guys over there have like specific days and times that people can go in? It's like quiet shopping.
No, it's a new thing that's being adopted over here. Yeah, so there's one place near me that says they won't be playing any music from 10 o'clock in the morning till 12, and I'm usually busy at that time of day, so I don't do much shopping at that time of day.
No, they do it here so that some of the older generation can go in and they don't have like kids running around screaming and carrying on, like, so they can do their shopping in peace.
I would like that more. We need more of that, especially
Yeah.
in gyms. Because one of my big problems about the fucking gym is the music they play is dire. Dire. It's so fucking bad. And they play it so loud that it doesn't matter what kind of headphones you get and what kind of noise cancelling it has on it. You still have to listen to the shit over the top of whatever you're listening, man. It drives me crazy. It drives me fucking crazy, man. That's just the way it is, isn't it? But you know, they should do that in the gym. Like for between 10 and 2, there's gonna be none of this shit that we're trying to force down your neck. God damn, I hate it so bad. The music in the gym is just fucking dreadful, awful. Hate
It's
it.
got to drown out all the excessive grunting.
I would rather hear
Oh,
the
yeah.
grunting. Fucking hell. God damn. You know, it's just like I won't even go into it. It's just I could rant about it for fucking ages. Fuck gym music. Firetop had a question here. When pheno hunting, what does the panel look for? I don't pheno hunt really. I just pop the beans I'm gonna grow. I don't really do cuts or anything like that. But
Yeah.
Monkey, this is something you're doing recently, right?
Looking for stem rub to get something that I like, like the smell, the funk of, and also nice, good vigor and plant shape, form, lack of mutation, those kind of things are what I look for in phenos.
What are you saying, Bubble?
Terps and resin production for me.
Yeah, man.
I want that thing dripping. But
And
that's because I press it. So
Mhm.
the more I can get out of it, the better.
What do you say there, Mike? Should you say something there?
No, I was just agreeing. That makes a lot of sense because I don't really pheno hunt either.
Yeah. Same. It's just if you're breeding, then you're just gonna be looking for the traits that you want to have in the genetic background of the seeds that you're making. As simple as that. You know, if you want a plant with big buds, then pheno hunt for something with big buds. You know, you want something with a flavor or a smell that you enjoy. You know, so whichever one smells like the best to you, then you want to be looking for that phenotype. You know, just what you would like in a plant. Simple as that. It's like life partners that we look. You know, husbands, wives, and shit. They're all different. You know, everybody has different ones. Some people like blondes, some like brunettes. You know, that's just the way it goes, man. Some people like tall, some people like short. You know, we all have our own individual. What word am I looking for? Preferences. That's the one. Yes, thank you, Mark. Yeah, we all have our own preferences, and that's the same thing with cannabis. You know, you pick what preferences you like, and then breed with that one. Giggity goo.
Well, also your
Sometimes-
application will play into it too. If you're looking for hash, you probably don't want something with super tight buds. You want something a little looser structure that's going to wash easier. Lots of different things to consider when you're picking a pheno.
Yeah, man.
And sometimes you won't know. Like you can go out there with the intention of going one direction, and then something pops up and you go, fuck yeah, I want to keep that one. And you know, that's the whole fun of pheno hunting, is you get a whole bunch of different things to choose from. And until you're out there messing around with them and smelling them and inspecting them, you may find something completely left of field as to what you started wanting to hunt. So I know that's
Good
happened
points.
with me.
Yeah. You just find out what you like, man, and work towards it. We have one from Bob West here as well. Can you slow down plant growth until you have space in the tent? Got some cutting and extra seed in a small pot to slow growth.
I can do it in cocoa by keeping the plant in a small pot. Restricting that root size and then doing regular pruning on it. I can keep that plant small for quite a while, but I'll have to keep it nourished. I'll have to be very careful with it, because once you go completely root bound in that pot, it becomes a lot trickier to keep the plant happy. But yes, you can, if you're using a hydroponic system like that. I don't know in soil, it's going to be a little more tricky because you're going to deplete your nutrients and you're probably going to have to do some feeding.
Yeah. And you can only do that with photo periods, of course. If you're gonna grow autos, you don't have the privilege of messing around like that, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna get maximum 6 weeks on an auto. Maximum. That's like best case scenario. So
Yeah, I've got cuttings over here that I've taken, rooted cuttings from some photo periods that are scheduled to make seeds, but I probably won't have room for them in the seed tent for a month or two. And they'll just probably sit over there in the clone station under low light, small pots, limited nutrients. They'll stay alive. They won't be thriving, but then I'll bring them into a larger pot, up the nutrient level, and they'll take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, low lights. That was keeping the light down. That was a good suggestion there.
Not too low though, because then you'll get stretched.
Yeah.
Right. You want it low enough, and you want to get the nutrient level low enough as well to where they kind of match. They're getting a little bit of nutrient and enough light to stay happy and alive. And like I said, once you give them everything and you put them on full blast, they will take off because they're completely established at that point.
One thing we didn't touch on there was you can drop your temps a little bit as well.
Yeah,
So
good
if
idea.
you get a little bit colder, it'll sort of slow that growth rate down a bit. So
Yeah,
Nice.
and another
Good
thing,
options.
if you have to go really long, you can always reclone it and keep it small that way. So if it's growing too big, just take another cut.
Yeah. Go plant the mother outside somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, some good options there. Some good options for sure. Filmy Bowls has one here. We should start wrapping this up soon. So if anybody has any questions, do drop them in anytime soon because we're going to be wrapping this up soon. But Filmy Bowls said, when you are checking on your plants and smell the buds, do you ever get the feeling that they don't like that you're smelling them? No. No, I don't.
Never
I
had
can't
that
say I
feeling.
ever have.
No, it's like I don't anthropomorphize them anymore. They're just plants now. Is that the correct word? I think that's the right word.
I find it the opposite because you go and when you go in there and you pull on one of the branches to have a bit of a sniff, and the next minute the whole fucking house stinks. It's they want you to smell it.
Damn. Especially if you appreciate it. And if you smell it and be like,
Yeah.
damn, that's some good shit. Then
Yeah,
they
and
blush a
then they're all
little,
happy.
They're like, ooh.
Yeah. Start praying and shit.
You're so cheeky,
Yeah. Just
Shit.
whispering sweet nothings into their calyx.
Yeah. Shit, man. Yeah, good question. Good question. Does anybody find that they have any detrimental effects from being around their plants? I don't think so. I think the plants love having us around, man. That's why they smell so good and they look so nice. So the more time you spend with your plants, the better. They enjoy it. I'm sure they do enjoy it. Just don't touch them. That's what I find. Just be around them. Don't touch them. Let them do their thing, and they'll do fucking sweet by themselves, man. Cannabis is such a great plant to grow.
Have you? I mean, I know that we do try to keep things under wraps as much as possible, and the whole 3 rules and not telling people. But other growers that you've had come round and you've shown them you grow, and they go to touch the bud, do you get that freak out? Because I do. I'm like, touch my fucking bud, man. Don't touch it.
Ain't much of a grower if they go on at grabbing the bud like that.
Don't go touching the buds, man. What are
I
you doing?
stopped that after my second grow. I was done with that. No way.
I am the only person who goes into my grow room. Nobody else goes in. So not even the wife, man. Not even the wife. This ain't your business. It's not been chopped down yet. When it's chopped down, they're all yours. Take them, smoke them.
Well,
but while they're growing, they're mine.
Yeah, I've seen the missus actually unzip the tent to look, but she'll never touch anything in there. She just looks.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
Which is even rare these days because, like I said it before, my missus is only interested in one thing: the weed that's in the jar. That's all she wants to know about.
That's the way to keep it, man. That's the way to keep
and
it.
Product.
If it's trimmed, cured, and ready, now she's ready. That's it.
And that's it. Just something for everybody out there listening. I know it's very tempting because sometimes your buds can look so ripe and juicy, and you just want to give them a little squeeze. That stickiness on your finger, give them a smell. But no, it's just best if you have mold spores on your fingers, which you won't know. And mold spores are fucking everywhere. If you had some mold spores on your fingers, you didn't know about it, you touch your buds and they get onto your buds. It's so easy for them to germinate and just get bud rot all over your fucking plant. So it's just best not to touch them. And it's like, when you have an apple, if you get an apple and you squeeze it a little bit too hard and bruise it, then The apple's going to be bruised, and pretty soon that bruise is going to get some mold spores on it, and it's going to go moldy. And that's the same kind of principle with your buds. If you bruise the bud, it's got much more likely chance of it getting bud rot through mold spores germinating and shit. So it's just best not to touch them. If you want to smell what your plant smells like, then rub the stem at the bottom. You'll get a good smell from that. But other than that, don't touch buds, man. Don't touch the plants if you can help it. Just let it do its thing.
Don't touch other people's plants.
Yeah, just don't touch other people.
You hear that, Billy?
Pretty good advice all around. Yeah.
You know, unless you get consent, written consent. You know,
Really?
it's 2023. You know, written consent only. God damn.
Yeah, they've got to sign that waiver first. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is that everything? I think that's everything. And that's all the questions that we've covered there. Well, yes, good set of questions there, everybody. Thank you for asking all of them. And of course, if you're listening to this show and you're like, I've got a question, but it's already been recorded and you listen to the downloaded version of it, then, you know, head over to percysgrowroom.com. You can sign up for absolutely free and you can post a thread asking any question about cannabis growing that you like. So get over there and do it. Or even if you just want to take some pictures of your plant, show it off, bring it over to Percy so everybody can see. You can be like, look how cool this is. And if you take a picture like that, we can't touch your buds. So it's all good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
We like pictures though.
Yeah, we do like pictures. So come and share your grow with us, you know. You don't have to do this shit alone. You know, I know a lot of people are out there, you know, just telling nobody, which is the right way to do things. You know, I can't say bad about that. Don't tell anybody about your grow. But you can definitely come and share it over at percysgrowroom.com because we like to see it. And you'll enjoy being part of the community and winning some lights and some seeds and things like that. And some badges. Got some badges. More badges coming soon.
Badges?
And stickers. You know,
Badges.
everybody likes
Are they-
stickers.
Are they honey badgers?
Did I say badgers? Maybe I said badgers.
Badges?
But, every time I think
You know-
about badgers, the one time like on the way to school when my daughter was really young, we used to walk to school. You know, I'd walk her to school, drop her off, and the one time a badger got hit by a car, and it was just like dead on the side of the road for like 2 fucking weeks, man. And every time we had to walk past it, like on the way to school, it just fucking stank so bad. And I could never really get that out of my mind right there. Trigger warning, everybody, after I've said the savage bit. Trigger warning. You know? But shit. It's like that tainted my whole word association of badgers forever, that did.
I'd love a honey badger as a pet. It'd be
Right.
fucking just
Would.
Yeah, just with a
that'd be
muzzle on
so cool.
and gloves on.
Nah. No, you teach it not to bite you, just bite everybody else.
Right.
If you get it young enough, I reckon you'd be able to teach it. I know they're fucking angry little bastards, but you know,
Damn.
they'd take on anything. It'd be the best security system ever. Can you imagine breaking into a house? There's a fucking honey badger there. You'd be out.
Yeah.
That'd be the last thing you ever did.
Yeah, you'd be checking out. You know what I'm saying? God damn. Savagery. But yes, what would you like as a pet, everybody? Let us ask you a question.
Yeah.
What random exotic animal would you like to have as a pet? You can comment on this video and let us know what's your favorite kind of pet. And that will make an interesting conversation, I think. But yes, there we go, everybody. That was this week's listener mail episode. You know, the special Q&A listener mail episode. I'm just checking to see what we're on about next week. Well, it's about dabbing next week, isn't it?
Are we dabbing next week? Oh, man.
Yeah, how dabbing works, because I wanted to take people through the whole process of dabbing from start to finish.
Oh,
You know,
jeez.
from harvest to making some rosin. You know, what kind of press you want to have, and then what good dabbing rigs you can use, and you know what kind of blowtorch you'd use to heat up the fucking thing as well. All that kind of shit. So people can get a good idea of how dabbing works. Then they can get super high. You know, that's the mission for next week's show. Yeah, it's all about you then, Bubble. This is your kind of knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And
Gonna get on the
Fumo,
dabs.
you know what I'm saying? The flavor is always there, man. But just
All
one
about-
last one there from Fummy Bowles. He says, dogs are the best. I concur. There we go. Let's go to the outro. Professional fade. Professional fade. There we go.
It's not that professional. I can hear
go.
someone in the background. I
Yeah,
can
I
hear
heard
the
the
music
music
playing.
myself. That time I did, yeah, for sure.
Shit. Yeah, they can hear that too. It's not like I muted it or anything. Everybody can hear it. I'm just letting them know this is the music isn't cutting off. It's me professionally fading it. That's all. Gosh,
Right. Okay.
gosh, just that's the way it has to be, man. Just making sure everybody's clear what's going on here, so they don't message me and being like, "Mackie, the music's fading."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit. Because that happens sometimes too. But yes, damn good show. Yeah, damn good show. I hope you all have been checking out the Conservative Twins. You know, checking out those guys. Those guys are super funny. Of course.
Crack me up.
And don't forget, if you haven't already, we did mention him in the news. Go and check out RFK and see what he's talking about, especially if you're in the States, because, you know, it's just entertainment value for all of us. But this guy is going to be running for the Democratic nominee. So this might be important political shit for you guys. So check him out and see if you could line up with his beliefs. Yeah,
And
I
he's
like
been
him.
on Joe Rogan too.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the kind of
Oh.
shit that you want as well. That long form conversation is important to get
Yeah.
the best information out of people. So go and listen to that episode.
I want to see Biden on his podcast.
Oh, the god
Biden
damn.
on
Never
Rogan's
last
cast.
3 hours.
Yeah.
But you know what? I reckon he could. It'd just be dribble, but I reckon he could last 3 hours.
I want to sum
well,
America
I would-
up in one word.
Yeah.
I feel bad though, because you know he's just an old guy, man. He's an old guy, and he started off okay, but damn, he's just. It's sad to see what is happening to him, man. That he's just becoming victim to aging, really.
Yeah,
Like,
getting
God
old's no
damn.
joke.
Yeah. No
Well,
joke.
no.
But you know, he definitely can't run again. Surely he can't run again. But they might do it. It's
Never know.
crazy to think about. Yeah, man. You never know. Be like, I'm doing absolutely 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm focused.
God damn. Yeah. Anyway, what else can we say here? Is there anything else to say before the show finishes? Don't forget to check out those episodes, the interviews that we did last week with Jeremy Silver, and the one that is coming out on Wednesday with Marco as well, because those 2 episodes together, the way they are, just so much fucking great info in between those 2 episodes. You know, I'm gonna be, when I'm editing those and putting them out, I'm taking notes. You know, I'm writing all this shit down, and then when I do have time to put together a proper organic garden, I'll be coming back and listening to them again, because they're just like rammed full of fucking epic info, man. Epic info. And then we get when we get Chris Trump back on as well, and get some more information on IPM and IMO and all that kind of KNF growing as well. I love that shit too, man. And pretty much just making your cannabis growing as homemade as possible. You know, by nutrients or anything. It's all made in your garden, man. Very cool. I love that shit. But is there anything else to add here? Bubble, you got any episodes of 2 Bowls Deep coming up soon? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit. I'm actually going to do some reviewing on both the HLG 600R and the Spider Farmer SE 7000 because I've actually got some decent footage now of the plants growing underneath it. So I'll be doing those up. There'll be a couple of those, and I will organize another live stream, but it's organizing what to talk about and getting everybody together to do so.
Conspiracy theories, bro.
Hey, we could do conspiracy theories. We could do that.
I love talking about conspiracy theories. I could talk about that shit all day long, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe we shoot for that one. I'll have a look, and I'll check my calendar, and I'll see what I've got going, and we'll work out when we can do some conspiracy theory stuff.
Yeah.
Who else we should try and get? We should try and get Jordan on as well, because he loves these conspiracy theories.
Yeah, man. And Brian from the Brian and Marco show. Well, we want to try and get him on specifically on our show to do a conspiracy special. That's gonna be fucking cool. I told him to check out the John Titor stuff. You know John Titor?
No.
Also known as John Titor sometimes.
Titor.
Anybody out there in the
Maybe.
chat? Anybody out there in the chat know John Titor? Or Titor? It depends on the pronunciation. The pronunciation. You know, Totiro. God damn. Titor is how you would spell his name, John Titor. So have you heard March?
No, no, I
Oh
have
god.
not.
There was some good conspiracy theory back in the day. It was a time traveler.
Hmm.
No.
Oh, I think I might have heard that, but I didn't know that was what. Is he the one that was like he's come come back and was telling everybody what was going to happen and warning everybody about shit that was happening in the future and that you have to change all of this for this to otherwise the earth's going to fucking fall apart or something?
But that's kind of what time travelers do. It's very vague. That was bubble.
Yeah, I'm you know.
No, he came back from goddamn was it? I can't even remember the date. He came maybe 2036, and this was in the early 2000s when he came back. Allegedly, he probably didn't. There's a few things that really threw me off from thinking about it was a legitimate story. But yeah, he came back to collect an IBM 500 because it was able to process a certain type of it could process different types of computer code, and
Right.
they needed it to translate one code to another code to make his computers work in 2036 after there was a coronal mass ejection or something that wiped out all the power. And there'd been loads of war, and there was civil war, loads of nukes went off, all this crazy shit. He just came up with loads of predictions, but it was probably all bullshit because extraordinary claims take extraordinary evidence and all that. But there was one thing that really threw it off for me. Is where he tells you how his time machine works. He takes pictures of the time machine and how it all works and stuff, and he's saying how the time machine bends the gravity, which in turn bends the time. Here's the time machine working, and he has a laser pen, and the laser bends towards the time machine, like you can see it bending the light, but the actual light of the photograph that he had taken was completely normal. The only thing bending was the laser, and it's like all of the light that was used to make
Should
that
be
picture
bending.
would be bending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
this guy's full of shit.
Mhm.
But Bob Lazar's a good one. No, is Bob Lazar telling the truth? Oh man, I love that shit. I've listened to that Bob Lazar episode of Rogan's like 10 times, man, and I still think Bob Lazar is full of shit. But I like his story. I like the story. I just like to try and listen and try and figure out if if there's any like smoking gun, like there, what he said there's bullshit. We can prove it. Look, but there's not anything. But goddamn, maybe he's not bullshitting. But I like to think that he's bullshitting because it's just too much of a crazy story. Maybe he's telling the truth. Fuck knows. Then there's the David Fravor one when he saw a UFO. Man, there's so many
I
good episodes, man.
I like the flat Earth conspiracy ones where they're like, we're going to go out and we're going to test it, and it's at the end of it anyway. You can edit that shit out. Where they're like, oh yeah, no, we're going to go and test this, and we're going to stand on this side of the lake, and he's going to stand on the other side of the lake, and we should be able to see the light through this hole. And then he's like, oh, we can't see the light. Are you holding it? And he's like, yeah, I'm holding it at the level. And he goes, oh, just lift it up above your head. And he lifts it up, and the light appears, and he's like, interesting. Like, you just proved yourself wrong, but sure.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, man. Filmy Bowl says, I wonder if he ever saw himself in this time. I assume you mean John Titor. And yeah, he did meet his younger self, allegedly. Very cool. I like this kind of stuff, even though majority of it is probably bullshit, most likely bullshit. But it's like good fairy tales for us adults because we don't believe in gingerbread houses and beanstalks. You know what I mean?
There's plenty of fairy tales to believe in when you're an adult.
Like safe and effective.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's flaggable. But anyway.
Oh, no.
So that's about it, everybody. Thanks for listening, and thanks for listening to that wild ramble at the end of the show there. That's completely Bubble Hawk's fault.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
Goddamn.
I'll take that one.
Yeah,
it's not even 9 a.m. here, so you can blame me. I'm half asleep.
Yeah, and we won't be here until next Sunday, obviously, and by then the 4th of July would have already passed. So happy 4th of July to all of our American listeners out there. Hope you have a good time on your Independence Day. Watch out for the spaceships, but more importantly, watch out for Will Smith and keep your wife's name out of his motherfucking mouth. or something like that.
Okay.
No, other way around, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a damn good show. Damn good show. Catch you on the next one.
Good show.
Catch you on the next one, everybody. Everybody wave.
We're
Everybody wave.
waving.
Bye. Hooroo
Bye,
legends.
everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Later, people.
Goodbye. Bye.